And we are live. How's everybody doing tonight? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and you're watching and/or listening to ABL Live. Thank y'all for joining me tonight. You could be almost anywhere in the world, but you're right here with me live on the show, and I appreciate y'all for that. We got a whole lot going on all over the internets, all over social media. I got a little distracted because my chat is acting up already, and we got a little thunderstorm happening. We'll talk about that a little bit more a little bit later. But shout out to you guys for watching. I appreciate y'all for joining. We got a whole lot going on all over the internets, mainstream media, social media. I don't know where to start. First of all, the Iran conflict is still going on. There's quite a few new things happening from that. Who bombed the school for the little girls? Why was it right there, conveniently, on an Iranian military compound? We'll talk about that a little bit more a little bit later. Also, we have a little bit more on the attempted New York City terror attack, including that guy who is famously in the picture talking about, don't let anyone from the outside tell you that you're not welcome if you're a Muslim. All of a sudden, right over his shoulder, Allahu Akbar. This guy is speaking out and doubling down on his stance to say, come one, come all. We'll talk about that a little bit more a little bit later. Also, Jesse Jackson Jr. responded to the president, spoke about his father at the funeral. These men who did not know Jesse Jackson. I know one guy who did on Jesse Jackson. I know one guy who did say nice things about Jesse Jackson. We'll talk about that a little bit more a little bit later. Also, we got Waymo problems, we got data center issues, and we got a whole lot more on tonight's episode of ABL Live. And thank y'all again for being here. You guys are the best audience anywhere on these internets. Thank y'all for joining. I really, really appreciate it. Shout out to you guys. Shout out to you guys who were on the Instagram stream last night from 9 to what was that, about 10:30 we were on. And if you don't know, I do an Instagram stream each and every Tuesday at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And that'll go up on YouTube on Friday night, 8 p.m. So shout out to you guys who were there. If you want to check that stream out, it's on Instagram right now. If you want to wait till Friday, it'll be on YouTube. But we got a little bit going on, don't we? We have some weather events kicking off. There's been some tornadoes. There's been some hailstorms. Right now, we got some weather happening outside. So hopefully we could do this entire show without any kind of interruptions. I saw a little bit at the beginning. There were some disconnections happening with the internet. But if this show just cuts off, you already know it's because of the storm. But I'm here for now. Shout out to you guys. Hopefully everybody's safe. Hopefully everybody is secure. There's no tornadoes, nothing crazy happening where you are. That's what I hope. You know, I got hit by a tornado one time, and I got hit by a hurricane 2 times, I believe. But it wasn't that bad. It wasn't like, you know, something you see in the movie where people are having to escape. You know, they got to swim to safety. It wasn't nothing like that. But it could have been. You know, a tornado, the telltale sign of a tornado, when you hear it, they say it's the train sound. Have you ever heard, like, have you ever been in a tornado before? Anybody out there? And did you hear the train? Now, I know what a regular train sounds like because where I used to live, there was a train track pretty much across the street. I could pretty much walk to it in like 2 or 3 minutes. So I know what a regular train sounds like. But this is like the train is speeding at you. It's a difference between hearing it in the distance on its regular track and then the train coming right towards your house. It's like if the track was in the woods or the field or the neighborhood leading up to your house. That's kind of how it sounded when a tornado was coming to hit you. And it did hit, but luckily it wasn't really a big deal. There were some small tree branches that got knocked on our house back then. This is what, like 2020, 2021? But my neighbors, man, they had this crazy big tree. The tree was so big. That tree probably been there since dinosaurs walking around Appalachia. You understand what I'm saying? I mean, this tree was humongous. The base, it was like, how do you even, there's no way you could actually move a tree that big without like setting it on fire or something like this. I don't know. But anyway, the tree was humongous. I'm talking about paper for an entire year. But anyway, it fell toward the road rather than back toward the house. If it would have fell toward the house would have been done. Like a tree falling on your property is bad news. When I was having this house built, they said, do you want your house up against the wooded area or do you want it away from the wooded area? I was like, away, because I've already been through a tornado out on this particular neck of the woods. So I know what happens when trees fall. You don't want that to happen to your house at all. So shout out to you guys who are out there in the weather, or the bad weather area, or the area that is prone to bad weather. Hopefully everybody's safe tonight. It's good out here. Like where I live in this area, it'll rain and the power might go out, but a tornado, I don't really expect, but you never know what could happen. Like I said, I done got hit with a tornado one time and the hurricane once or twice, but the hurricane wasn't that bad. I mean, it was windy and rainy, but normally a hurricane's not necessarily that damaging unless you right on the water and it's a Cat 5 or something crazy like that. But if you kind of inland a little bit, you may get some damage, but that's only if you get a tornado from the hurricane, because a lot of times it's just heavy rain. But what happens in a hurricane is that there can be a tornado spawned in the hurricane. Because I guess technically a hurricane is a big tornado, but it's not. It's anyway. The point is, if you get them little tornadoes from the hurricane, that's when you get the issue. That's always the problem, is the tornado spawning from the hurricane. But yeah, we good right now. It's kind of weird. It's like when I was on the East Coast, I was concerned about hurricanes during hurricane season, but out here it's a springtime rain that could become intense thunderstorms, which is very similar to what a hurricane could do as far as the damage. You got your bunker. Okay, Mauricio, you got to get a bunker. I need a bunker as well. Hey, for my next home, I'm going to have some acreage and it's going to be a bunker, doomsday bunker. Like how they had in that Obama movie on Netflix, it's going to be like that. Yeah, for sure. I got to be able to survive a little bit of. Now, if I lived in Oklahoma or somewhere like this, like a certified tornado alley, oh yeah, I'm building a bunker before I built the house. Like before anything is thought of for the house, I'm building the bunker. Now, if I got acreage, I can kind of build it off site, but I probably wouldn't do that. I want the bunker on top of the house, because if the actual storm is coming, I wouldn't be able to get there immediately. And it'll probably just be like an exit that I can get out. That's not necessarily, the house only. Because if the house collapses and you're trying to get out through the house, you're going to have a problem. Yeah. Oh, definitely in the Iran. I definitely watch the sky. It's very important to watch the sky because you can see, I was told when I was real young that if it's like the middle of the afternoon, because I remember like you'd be at the bus stop and you could see like the clouds in the sky get real crazy dark. Like that right there, if it's real dark clouds in the afternoon, it's about to be a weather event and it might be a tornado. Yeah, bunkers would certainly come in handy in Oklahoma, anywhere like that. Any kind of tornado alley, a place that it is prone to bad weather, a bunker would most certainly come in handy. How it says Wisconsin, not much to worry about here. Shout out to you out there in Wisconsin. Shout out to you guys all over the USA, all over the world. I appreciate y'all for rocking and rolling. Live right next to a train track as well. Trav W, shout out to you. Lot of trains out here. Lot of trains out here. Okay, Retro AI says, hello, Mr. ABL and family. We got a big ice storm in Canada where I live right now. Okay, ice storm. See, that's crazy. I think I see it might be the same wave of weather that's sweeping across North America right now. But the further up north you get, I guess the colder it'll be. And you'll get ice. But down here, it's warm. It's like 75 degrees today. It was pretty warm today. And we'll just get some rain. We'll get some heavy rain. All right, hold on. But shout out to you guys. I appreciate y'all. Now, the whole thing about the Iran, pardon me, I'm reading the chat. Somebody says that the attack in New York was an Iran false flag, or just a false flag in general. Is it about Iran or is it about something else if it's a false flag? If it is a false flag, then what is the purpose of the false flag? And I'm speaking about the terror attack. The guy, what bar? I mean, I don't see why anyone would. I can see why you would think that it's a false flag, but why would you be adamant in that? Because it's not like this is the first time a Muslim has done this. This has happened over and over again, all over the world, not just here. See, it's one thing, because we can say that certain events that happen in the United States, we can kind of question them because we know that there are some bad actors, whatever. But when you see the exact same thing happening all over the world in places where it doesn't even make sense to do something like that for any kind of political gain, at a certain point, you just got to say, that's just what they do. You're going to have radical Islamic extremists wherever you have Islam. I'm not saying they're all going to do it, but you're going to do it. You're going to have these people. Now, there's a guy we're going to get to in a little bit. This guy's talking about, I'm the guy who was in the video. I'm the guy who was used as a springboard for this Muhammad #1 character to throw his improvised explosive device, aka an IED. I'm the guy he used to springboard and throw it over me as he screamed Allahu Akbar. But, you know, it's racist if you don't like Muslims. I'm like, all right, man. Like, he literally did the Allahu Akbar right on you. And we're telling you that that's what they do. And he literally does it to you, and you still refuse to believe it. Whatever. You know, some people, it doesn't really matter, because a lot of y'all ask me, hey, ABL, how can I convince my uncle? How can I convince my friend? How can I convince my family member to think like I do? How can I convince them to stop being liberal? There is no convincing. Why waste your breath? Why waste your time? There's no convincing. All I do, as I've said before, I just plant little seeds in the garden of their mind. I'll say little things. I might comment on the whole terror attack in New York or the terror attack attempt. Hey, man, you know what? I was a guy out there talking about Muslims are welcome here. We love everybody. And then somebody throws a bomb right over his head and says Allahu Akbar, like right there. He proved the point. If they want to argue that point, I ain't gonna say nothing. I'm like, you got it. I don't want to engage in the argument. I'm not going back and forth. I'm going to just give you the information and do with that what you will. Do with that whatever you decide. That's your business. I'm not going to sit here and police how you and just the information. But I want you to have the information. I'm going to give you the information regardless. Okay, you might not like it, and that's fine, but I'm going to still give it to you. I can tell you by giving you something that's very good for you to eat, that it's good for you, and you should do it, because that's what I do. If you don't want to eat it, that's fine, but I'm going to still give it to you. And I'm going to keep giving it to you until one day you take it. That's my objective. But I'm not going to be going back and forth and arguing with you and forcing you. I'm going to just drop it off. I put it at your doorstep, and if you want it, go ahead. That's how I'll do with the information. I'm not trying to convince you of anything. Not at all. But shout out to you guys who are here. I appreciate y'all for rocking and rolling. If you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. Now, gas is going up, though. I ain't going to lie. Hey, what's gas costing you now? I knew when they did the whole Iran thing that it was going to be a blip with the gas prices. Now, Trump, you got to get this thing over with quick now. If you can hear the sound of my voice, Marco Rubio, if you're listening, whoever's listening, you got to get this thing done quick and open up the Strait of Hormuz, okay? Because that's the problem. You got to open that up, because if you don't, very quickly, these prices are going to keep going up and up and up. And it's not just gas, talking about fertilizer. There's a lot of different things. If you are increasing the cost of fuel, you will also increase the price of shipping, which will increase the price of goods and services. And this fuel you're raising the price on because of this conflict will impact other things as well. Anything you purchase is going to be impacted. So my hope is that this war is done quickly. And it had to be done, though. It was only a matter of time. We kept talking about Iran. We're kicking the can down the road. And at a certain point, you're going to have to confront it. And that certain point is right now. So the best thing to do is to get it over with quickly. I would presume that there was a big plan in place before this. You don't start a war, a conflict, an excursion, whatever, with Iran and just kind of do it on the fly. You want to have a whole big game plan in place. Now, we're talking about that whole school thing, but let's just talk about this for a second before we get to it. So there's a report that came out that said that the U.S. was responsible for the missile strike on the girls' school in Iran. Like 140 girls were killed, like children. Now, the problem is this school was right on a military base. And that place had always been a military base until recently, where they put a girls' school right there. Now, why would they put a girls' school right there? A place that they know is a target. They probably did that on purpose to sacrifice them for their greater mission, because let's not act like they did not kill 40,000 of their own people in 2 days because they were protesting. What's 150 more? Make it make sense. And people are upset about the 150, but when you say, how about the 40,000, they want to totally deny it. Oh, where'd you get the number from? That's not the real number. You watching the Jewish media, ABL. Oh, okay. All right. The Iranian people themselves are telling you that's what's going on. Like, before all this news broke, I knew what was happening with Iran in that number. I speak to people from Iran. I speak to people in Iran right now. I speak to those in the country now. And they said hundreds, if not thousands, were being killed every day after the protests. And during the protests, it was like 20,000 killed at one time and then 20,000 another time. 40,000 is a low number. I'm being generous, actually. I'm being kind of conservative on I'm not even giving you the big number. It's probably like 70,000. It's much higher than 40,000. But because the media has a stranglehold on the people, and it's popular to be anti-Trump or whatever the case may be, since the schoolgirl's death can be linked to the U.S. government in some kind of way, then we'll focus on that rather than the atrocities that the Iranian regime were committing against their own people. Bare minimum 40,000 people dead 2 days for protesting. But the Iranians put a girls' school on the military base on purpose, probably to get sympathy from international community. That's a problem. Make it make sense. Make it make sense. But hopefully this conflict is resolved quickly, because the economy of this world will be affected the longer that the Strait of Hormuz is disrupted. But more than anybody else, the Iranians will be harmed with the Strait of Hormuz being disrupted. And so will China, and so will Russia, because 90% of their oil exports come through that particular channel. So if that's being disrupted, then what are you going to do? What are the Iranians going to do? They got to do something. And I hope that whatever solution we come up with happens very quickly, because this is going to cause issues all over the world for a while. Retro AI says, true, I heard 60K were killed. Yes, the 40,000 is a low number. I'm lowballing it just to be fair. I'm not trying to say 100 million or what. I'm just trying to say a lowball number, but really it's closer to 60 or 70. I was hearing on the low end 200 a day after the protests had already been over with for a while. Like a month later, it was still 200 a day on the low end after the initial wave of people that were killed. So I don't think the Iranians care about their people that much, meaning the regime, not the Iranian citizens, not the Iranian people, but the Islamic regime. They don't really care. They'll sacrifice you. You know, these are the same people that arm terror groups, and their whole thing is, we're going to sacrifice ourselves. We're going to become martyrs for Allah. And we're going to have 35 virgins or whatever the case may be. Okay, that's the ideology that they have. So you got to keep that in mind. The radical Islamic extremism is a cancer all over this planet, and everybody knows it. If you are a Muslim person and you're peaceful, I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about your crazy, ridiculous cousins. That's all I'm talking about. I ain't talking about the peaceful people. I'm talking about the Allahu Akbars. Okay. Now, speaking about the Allahu Akbars, New York City, these guys, listen, it was funny because CNN said, what would they say? Something about, oh, you know, two teenagers from Pennsylvania just coming to New York. It's abnormally warm. And then tragedy struck. Now, we're going to get into that in a minute, but I think that there's a lot of AI writing a lot of this stuff, and it's not being checked. It just put it out there. Okay, turn and burn. They don't even really care. But sometimes it's important to check what you're writing. Sometimes it's important to understand exactly what you're putting out there to the public, because you may give off the wrong message. You may send you may give off the wrong impression. You send the wrong message. You're not conveying yourself properly with this AI slop that's just put out there. Okay. And then the data centers. Listen, the craziest part about this whole green energy, Green New Deal, green this, green that, are these data centers. Data centers take up so much electricity, so much clean drinking water. It's ridiculous. It is ridiculous. It's like you bring in the old factory back, but a lot of the factories were offshore because they were pollutants. Like, does that make a lot of sense? These data centers are not environmentally friendly at all, and they're expensive. The people can't really afford it. You're living in Virginia, you're living in Maryland, and your state's company for electricity has to deal with the data centers. Everyone's electricity will rise as a result. Everyone will have higher electricity as a result. One guy said he was paying 675 US American dollars for his monthly electricity bill. And it's just him in the house by himself. He does not use power ridiculously. He cuts off lights at night. He cuts off the heat at night. All of that. 675 for electricity. Why? You are subsidizing a data center. But see, the problem is people, they love their doom scrolling. They love using their phone for everything. They love their AI. They love that chat GPT. And by the way, bro, did you guys see that story of the guy here in Chattanooga where I live who allegedly killed his girlfriend? First of all, I might do a video on that. First of all, this guy, it was obvious what happened. Okay, I know exactly where you live at. I know what them houses look like. Over there, you living over there, and you got her in there. Y'all are like not even really was supposed to be over there. And then she pop up dead, and you the boyfriend, and you used to play in the NFL. Let's just put two and two together, man. Like, if you're going to play in the NFL, a lot of these guys have some issues. There was one guy who just got locked up for trying to hit his girlfriend with a car and blew a big contract, multimillionaire. It's because they got this crazy testosterone and they don't understand how to channel it properly. So they just go crash out and do ridiculous things. But getting back to what I was saying, the guy called the police after the girlfriend was dead, after he did it allegedly. Called the police. They're asking him, hey, do you know what happened? I don't know nothing. But they found out that he had asked ChatGPT how to cover the crime up. And then they were posting ChatGPT logs on the screen in court. It was crazy. It was crazy. Y'all love that ChatGPT and your all your AIs, all of that. I don't use much AI. I use Grok occasionally for my articles, and I might use it to create some of my thumbnail. If I can't find a picture that's copyright free and it's kind of a generic topic, I can use it for that, for the other picture rather than my picture. But beyond that, I'm not asking ChatGPT everything. People nowadays, they use it for everything. They respond to you in on a Twitter post, Instagram post, Facebook post with a ChatGPT thread. It's like, what am I gonna do with this? Like, let's talk as human beings. I don't need your robot to talk for me. I don't need your pet robot to talk for me. And then now you get people getting married to the AI. They're having the AI in cars. And we're going to get to Waymo. Hey, you know what? I have a question before we get to anything else. I have a question. Do you guys think that these Waymo driverless AI-powered cars are truly driverless, or is it a guy over in the Philippines with a steering wheel and the pedals at his feet? No socks, straight barefoot on the pedals. He driving it like this. He got a VR headset on. Matter of fact, ain't even no VR headset. You gonna have your feed from your cameras on your Waymo on a screen monitor, and it might be 4, 5, 6 screens, and he's driving everybody all at the same time. As soon as the Waymo gets to a place and they don't know what to do, he gonna tap in and drive it manually. I think that's what's happening. They can say it's not what's happening, but I'm not quite sure I believe that, because these Waymos are doing ridiculous things. Remember the guy that got caught in the Waymo, and Waymo was doing donuts? So you mean to tell me that the Waymo AI-powered vehicle just did some donuts on its own? Or was it a guy over in Quezon City, Philippines? Oh, I'm driving the car in America. Was that? And shout out to my Filipino. Y'all know I'm 1% Filipino. So if I make a Filipino joke, it's not racist because I'm Filipino too. But anyway, do you think that the Waymo just happened to malfunction and do a donut, or was it the guy over in Manila having a good time on his first day at the job driving Waymos remotely? I'm just saying. I'm just asking the question. I'm just putting it out there. I could be totally wrong on my assumption, but I don't think so. I think it's something to it. So, moral of the story, Waymo's not for me. We got quite a few videos. Hey, and I got to ask you guys a question as well about one of these videos, because I put one out and I made my commentary and people were kind of confusing me in the comments because it said it wasn't anything wrong with what happened on screen. And you know what? I think a lot of people can't drive. So a Waymo is good because people can't drive anyway. But I know how to drive. Like, I think I'm a pretty good driver. If I wanted to, I can get my CDL, get on the road, and haul some lumber if I had to. You know, that might be a little bit of a challenge, but I could rise to the challenge. But some people, I mean, driving a Ford Focus to Costco is a challenge. I mean, the driving skills are just not really there. Do you know how to drive? Do you have a valid license? And that was the issue with Springfield, Ohio. Remember when they had the Haitians coming through? And shout out to my Haitians. Sakat Fet, all that, you know. Okay. But remember when they came to Springfield and they didn't really have driver's licenses. The thing about it, you have to practice how to drive and pass a test and things like that in America to get your license, because we don't want unskilled drivers on the road. But when they were allowed to just take the road with no license, and they were not good drivers, they were causing accidents, they were speeding crazy. And as a result, the car insurance rate in Springfield tripled. It tripled because of all the bad driving. So I think some people are just bad drivers and they don't recognize a bad road maneuver when they see it because they're a bad driver themselves. Does that make sense? But we're going to get to it in a minute. I got an automatic Mustang, Tony. Automatic. And you know what? I almost thought about getting the manual, but it's just too much work. I don't want to do that when I'm in the city. If I go to Atlanta or somewhere, or even downtown Chattanooga, I don't want to be shifting gears in traffic. That's not fun. And I do have paddle shifters, so I can shift gears with the paddles, but I know it ain't the same thing as your clutch and all that good stuff. Okay. Yeah, and the English, that's right. Hey, man in the face, you got to have that English. Oh my goodness. When people ain't no picking no English, man, look, I don't care where you from, but I need you to pick a little bit of English, just a little teeny bit. If I go to your country and I'm there, living there, I might pick it a panty or whatever language you got going on. I'm gonna learn a few words. Okay, you don't gotta have the best English. It could be, you know, very bad English, but I appreciate your attempt to learn. And shout out to everybody that is like really trying to learn the language. You could tell a person that, you know, it's like the second language, you had to learn it later. Because when you're talking to them, they'll kind of repeat what you said. If you said something that is new or you said it in the way that they like to say it, they'll repeat it back to you. Shout out to you guys to do that. I recognize that and I appreciate their effort. But if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. But before we go any further, shout out to you guys who are watching. You guys are the best audience anywhere on these interwebs. Y'all know I cannot do the show without you. Thank you to the mods for keeping the trolls in check. Thank you to everybody that's rocking and rolling. You guys are the best audience anywhere on these interwebs. And I'm seeing quite a few super chats. I will get to those in just a minute. But shout out to patriotpost.us, your best source of news and information anywhere on these interwebs. Their link will always be in the description, or visit patriotpost.us. Tell them that ABL sent you. Also, please go to my Cameo page if you would like to send a message to your friend, family, loved one straight from me. Go to the link in the description, cameo.com, search Anthony Brian Logan. I'll pop right on up. If you got anything crazy or weird to say, I'm not going to say it. So you get your money right back. But if it's a cool message, I will send your message right there on Cameo. Also, please go to my merch website, ablmerch.com. That is ablmerch.com. We got the hats, t-shirts, stickers, hoodies, mugs, and more right there on the website, ablmerch.com. Also, go to my regular website, anthonyblogan.com. That is ANTHONY, the letter B, LOGAN.com. Go to the front page of the website. And on that front page, I have articles for each long form video that I produce. And in each article, we got sources from the left, from the right, from the center, from the Democratic, Republican, politically agnostic, local, national, international, whatever you want. I got it right there on the front page of the website, anthonyblogan.com. Also go to anthonyblogan.com/contact-us. There you find my email address, my email address, my YouTube pardon me, I'm getting distracted. My email address, my email address, my UPS box, of course, my social media accounts, my Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, never gonna call it X, TikTok. All my links are right there on the contact page of the website, anthonyblogan.com/contact us. And if you're ever wondering if you're conversing with me or not on the interwebs, you're probably not if you did not get an email from me or you didn't send me email first and not respond. And my email is very easy, contact@anthonyblogan.com. If you can't remember, go to the contact page of the website. It'll be right there, black and white. Copy, paste, send me the email or send me the snail mail to my UPS box and you good. Now, y'all know how it is. If it's somebody contacting you saying that they're me from some kind of strange means, it could be a YouTube comment, a random email, a direct message, something like that. It's not me. You're being scammed. It's going to be a guy from somewhere in India. Okay, he could be anywhere. And wherever he is, he's going to have a pair of sandals on and like a regular like shirt. Okay, and he's going to scam you to the core. He gonna get all your money. It could be him or it could be a guy, Eastern Europe, evading the war in some snowy village, eating borscht all day. It's going to be that guy, Ivan or Vladimir, Boris. One of these, they're going to get you. Or it's a guy over Lagos, Nigeria, in the village, in the city, somewhere, trying to be a 419 boy, trying to be a Wahala, whatever y'all call it. You know, y'all know what I'm talking about. Trying to be one of them, trying to steal all your money, trying to take every last dollar that you have. Your working income will be gone. If you communicate with these guys, they're going to steal your money. It's going to be hoodlums you're dealing with. So please, I beg you, do not deal with the hoodlums. They're not for you. And we got a whole lot going on here today. We got a whole lot going on. We got some bad weather, and I'm asking you guys, are you guys okay? Because the weather is crazy. Kankakee, is that what you call it? Kankakee? Ain't that where that rapper was at? What's the name of that dude that died? You know what I'm talking about. Y'all know who I'm talking about. Anyway, this is a tornado out there yesterday in Kankakee, Illinois. And RIP in advance to the headphone users. Look at this. Look at the scale of that. You see the Dollar Tree down here? Look at the scale of this tornado. I mean, these things get big. They're scary. And when one is right up on you, you can't do nothing about it. Get some shelter, hide, get up under some kind of solid thing to shield yourself. Oh, and there was also hail because when you get a tornado, it's a storm. It's part of a storm. So you're also going to have the precipitation. It said there was 2 deaths from that in Illinois today. Benjamin, hey, RIP to those that died out there in the bad weather in Illinois. See, look, it's also hail coming down. You see it on the road? Hey, you know what? I would love to be a storm chaser, but not in real life. Maybe I could do it in the video game, so I'm not in any danger, because that'd be crazy to see, like, up close and personal. That'd be crazy to see, but the danger associated with seeing something like that up close and personal, I'm not really going to take that risk. Now, that right there is a beast. So please be safe out there in the weather. It is that time of the year for us out here. This is Illinois, but you ain't that far away. Y'all right up north. Illinois, straight shot down Chattanooga, Tennessee. Straight shot 75 below that. It's like, boom, right there. So we getting some of that same kind of weather. Hopefully, prayerfully, we don't get this in the backyard. But it can happen. It happened before. It can happen again. All right, but yeah, shout out to you guys out there. Now here's Oklahoma City, and they get the tornadoes. That's pretty much a well-known tornado spot. But now Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia a little bit, Tennessee a little bit. That's also becoming part of Tornado Alley.
Welcome to Oklahoma, baby. Your first tornado watch, huh?
Maiden voyage, huh?
So these storms are big, and yes, we do get tornadoes in Chattanooga, Tony. I got hit by a tornado in Chattanooga in 2020 or 2021. I think it was 2020. Like, it might have been January 2020, if I'm not mistaken. Right around that time, we got hit by a tornado. Yeah, we had damage too. Like, my house at the time did not get damaged, but there were some houses in my neighborhood that got damaged. And there was a post office down the street that got the roof blown off. There was an Advanced Auto Parts down the street that was flattened to the ground. They had to rebuild it from the bricks. Like, it was completely gone. It was crazy to see it because I went down that road. I always go down. And then where I would see the Advanced Auto Parts, it was nothing there. It was completely gone. Like it never even existed. These storms are very, very powerful. Okay. Now here's Michigan. And the lake is still kind of frozen over a little bit, but yet they still got the tornado. That's crazy to see a tornado in these kind of cold conditions or conditions that were cold just recently.
It's a tree. Holy shit. Holy shit. Oh my God. Oh my God. Holy shit.
I'm sorry for the cut. I'm gonna turn that down because you're doing too much cussing. But that one ain't that bad. Well, yeah, it is. It's pretty bad, but it's not really hitting the ground. There it is. Yeah, that's pretty rough. But that appears to be an area. There are some houses right there. I'm seeing some debris. Oh yeah, that's bad. See, at first it was kind of like this, kind of like up like that. But you can see as it progresses that there's debris kicking up. And then you see bigger debris like right there. Yeah, so everybody please be safe out there in these storms. Be safe. Oh, and here's some of the hailstorm. Now, some of you guys may live in a place where you've not had a hailstorm before. I don't know. You know, I ask people certain things. I was like, hey, have you ever seen this kind of weather? They'd be like, what? They don't really understand. It's like, if you live in Florida, like South Florida, have you ever seen snow? In like Miami, Florida on the beach. Has it ever snowed on the beach in Miami? That might be kind of an absurd question for you because you've never seen it. But here's some hail out there. And again, Kankakee, Illinois. Hey, the weather is crazy. You know, springtime, it's like the world is transitioning, or at least in this part of the world, we're leaving winter and going to spring. So it's a lot of crazy weather happening. All right, let's keep on going here. Let's keep on. And where are we going to go? Oh, so they're talking about, you know, we got to have green energy and stuff like this. Well, when you get a tornado, hurricane, any kind of inclement weather, any kind of wind event, you can have stuff like this to happen. Here's a solar farm beat up. I would say totally destroyed, at least part of it. Like this whole area over there on the right-hand side is done. That probably can't be salvaged at all. Now, there's other parts of the farm that are okay, but other parts that are not okay. Okay, we got a lot of damage to houses. I've seen houses look like that after a tornado. It looked just like that. You'll see the roof exposed. It'd be debris everywhere. It's crazy. When you see this house from up high, it looks like it's like little twigs, like remember back in the, like you had balsa wood back in the day. Remember balsa wood? It's kind of how it looks. balsa wood or toothpicks, but this is like a real house, a real big house, but to the wind is nothing. All right, let's keep on going. Now, airplane drama. I think people are starting to defrost and they're getting back into their ready to fight energy. But before we talk about that, you have Joe Biden on the plane. Now, do you think he knows where he is? Do you think Joe Biden knows exactly where he is right now? Yep, Secret Service, of course, they're going to be there. Yeah, hey, look, if you got Joe Biden on the plane, ain't going to be no acting up. Ain't nobody going to be in there fighting and carrying on. Hey, let you try and fight while Joe Biden's on the plane. Man, please. You're going to get, first of all, you're going to get banned from the aircraft for life. And while you're trying to fight, you're going to be hit with some kind of discombobulator. Hey, it'd be some kind of machine, like Men in Black. Like, hey, look right here. And then next thing you know, you're going to be waking up in prison. How did I get here? Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. You weren't worried about how'd you get to be swinging your fist on the plane. So don't worry about how you got right here in this penitentiary. Just know that you're here. But yeah, shout out to him. Okay, now there's a lot of plane issues. I don't want to show all of it because there's just a whole lot of stuff going on. I'm going to just show one and then I'm going to move forward.
Right now, why don't you shut your mouth?
I'm wait for the people in front of me to get up. That's how we do it.
Oh my God, you're all whining for no reason.
Where you going? Let the people go.
Wow.
I hold
Get up the way you want to. Okay?
You're just a Karen, and that's just the way it is.
Just deal with it, people. My God. Why don't you all shut up? It's not affecting any of you.
No, but you're
You guys are so funny. You're the Karens about it because you're the ones who are making noise. Nobody's bothering you. It's not even in your. I'm sorry. Do you have my permission to record me?
It's public.
Shut up.
Oh, F-bombs.
Yep. Because you've never said one. I can tell you have. Oh yes, I can. Given your accent, I can tell you said the F-bomb. You can.
You know what? I'm going to just stop it right here. One thing that you don't want to do, when you're on the plane with these people and there's an issue, I think that she was just trying to get to the front before everybody. I don't know. But whatever the issue is, when people are on the plane and they're talking a whole lot and they're agitated, it's best to leave them be. Like I said, when I was on the plane and I had my issue with the guy who was acting up and had to get kicked off, I didn't say a word. I didn't look at the guy. I didn't engage with him until I had to, until the 0 hour. When the pilot got on the thing and said, okay, everybody deplane. At that point, it was like a switch went off. And I told myself before, I was like, okay, this guy's acting up. Don't say nothing. Don't do nothing. Keep cool. Don't egg it on until you got to do something. And then that strategy worked. Now, I got a little bit, I was still kind of amped up because I was mad I had to do that because I didn't want to do it. So then I said a few more words on his way out. And that's when I got this right here. I'll fight you. I'll whoop everybody on here. Moral of the story is, when human beings act a fool in public, it's best to let them just have their moment until you got to intervene. Then you intervene. Hey, if I see you out on the side of the road, just all of that, don't worry, bro, you got it. Just like Daniel Lowry, the mayor of San Francisco, out there in a tenderloin with his security team. Hold on. If you guys have not seen this, let me just pull it up right quick. Because that's a perfect kind of example of what I'm talking about. You got to pick your battles. And if you pick a battle to fight, be ready to fight the battle. Be ready to fight the battle. Okay, hold on. Let me see if I can pull it up right quick. Y'all give me a second. Y'all give me one good second. There we go. Okay, we lit. So here is I'm gonna turn that down. It might be kind of hard to see, but we're gonna look right in the center of the screen by the stop sign on the ground, by the word stop on the ground, not stop sign on the road, but right here. So what happened, I guess they had their black vehicle and the mayor right there was being driven around by the security team. They see somebody laying in the street and they get out to render assistance. Now, they're in the Tenderloin area of San Francisco, which is a dangerous place, a lot of drugs, crime, violence, all that good stuff. So if you stop right there, be ready for whatever happens. If I'm going to stop in the bad neighborhood, which I'm not going to stop in the bad neighborhood, but if I did stop in the bad neighborhood, I got my gun out immediately. Well, not out, like in my hand, like, hey, stick them up. I'm going to just have it within close reach or some kind of weapon if I don't want to get lethal right away. I got to have something to be in this area like this, because if I don't, I'm in danger. My subject, who I'm defending, is in danger. My client is in danger. You understand what I'm saying? The mayor. So this was all around bad. If I'm the security detail, I don't get out the car. But they did get out the car because someone was in the road and they wanted to get them up and out of the road. Now, there's a little conversation going on right here with the security. And then the security pushes the guy who I presume was on the ground. Once you do that, security, off-duty officer, you got to fight. And this guy might fight until you die. So look, okay, now the guy's got him hemmed up. The guy's strong. He could be some kind of bodybuilder. You have no idea who you're dealing with out here. He could be on drugs. He could be a bodybuilder. He could just know how to fight. He could be a wrestler. He might have been a wrestling champ in high school. But now they're basically doing the Macarena. And the mayor is walking away like ain't nothing going on. Now, people criticize the mayor for walking away. But what's he going to do? What is he really going to do? This guy's not had a fight in his life. All he's going to do is get himself beat up and for no reason. All right, cop, you win the fight. There you go. You got it. And then the guy has him. He can't escape. He can't get away. And then, boom, now you on the ground. Now you on the ground. So what could have prevented this is if you understand where you are, you're dealing with violent people, and you pushing somebody. Once you do that push, you need to be getting your weapon because now it's time to fight. So, and you know what? Here's something else. The moral of that story is if you're relying upon others to protect you, you might not be, that might not work out too well. Okay. That might not work out too well because where's the mayor at? Your subject is lost. Where's the mayor at? And you still got the car in the middle of the street. You could get carjacked. You could get kidnapped. You could lose your life like this. So don't help these people in the street. And if you do, be ready for whatever they're going to throw at you. Be ready for whatever. All right. Now, going back to the planes, rather than fighting, this is an older video, but I think it fits here. Rather than fighting because you're frustrated about whatever is going on the plane, just do this. Now, if you couldn't see what he was writing, he said, you served vegetables that were frozen solid. You also interrupted my movie twice to ask me to take a survey. Done. And you can see where it says survey feedback. Yeah, I'm going to get your feedback right now, mid-flight. Mid-flight. I did not appreciate my service. See, that right there, that's a much better alternative than throwing some bows and getting yourself banned for life from flying ever again in the USA. Much better alternative. Shout out to him. See? A proper gentleman he is. Now, Waymo. Oh, my Lord. Okay. Maybe I'm going crazy. Maybe I'm just not a very smart person. I don't know what's happening. But I want you guys to tell me and be honest. And you got to part in their voices. And, oh, my God. Please part in that. But watch this maneuver and tell me if this is a proper maneuver to make on the road. You have several lanes of traffic. you got at least 1, 2, 3, maybe 4 lanes of traffic on one side of the road, 4 more on the other, like a highway. You have a highway with traffic going in opposite directions. You are trying to make a left turn to go the opposite direction from where you are right now. What is the appropriate thing to do? What the Waymo did or something else? Let's watch.
Oh, we have to turn left? Oh, God.
I know. What the fuck? It's inching out. This is actually really scary. Oh my gosh, it's inching slowly. No, it's gonna go after this car.
It's not. It better not, because... Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Holy shit.
Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god!
Oh my god! Oh my god!
Oh my god!
Oh, my God.
Oh my god! Sorry!
Did you get that on video?
Oh my god!
Did you get that on video?
Yes! Yes!
Oh, roll your window down. Roll your
Oh my god!
Roll your
Oh my god!
Ah!
Okay, I'm sorry for the crazy ridiculous. Oh my God! I'm so sorry for that. But was this maneuver appropriate? Inching out into oncoming traffic to go left? Is that what we do? Is that how we get? No, they did get across, but is that what we do? Because that is not what I would have done. Okay, because if someone's not paying attention to you, that's an easy T-bone right there. You shouldn't be doing that. If you want to go take that left-hand turn, wait till the coast is clear. If you want to go straight across oncoming traffic, wait till the traffic is far enough away on both sides. Like, okay, if you're right here and traffic is going like this and you're trying to come in this way, wait till this traffic that's like this currently is like that. You got enough space in between. So by the time you make the left-hand turn, neither side will impact you. Neither side will have to slow down or adjust for you. If you can't do that, it's taking too long, go right and take a U-turn somewhere and come back the opposite direction. Some people said that it made sense to inch out like that and hold up the traffic to go left. Now, y'all tell me, I want you guys to be honest. Does that make sense or does it not make sense? Please let me know. Because, and also, whenever you give your opinion about it, tell me where you live at. Like, tell me where you drive. Or, matter of fact, if you, whatever answer you have, let me know where you learn to drive. Like, what state you learn to drive. Florida, Florida, New York, California, let me know. Okay. Buster Fire says, I would never. It needs a light right there at the intersection. JV says, no, thank you. Backup Texas says, what's weird is AI is trained to make right turns. Sean Carlson says that it works as well as it does is incredible. The engineering challenges in fully autonomous vehicles is huge. Okay. The question was, would you make that maneuver if you were driving, or would you take a right-hand turn and just go around or wait till the coast is clear? Okay. Faye Samuel says, I would have been really afraid. That was crazy. It was crazy, wasn't it? NERN says, who do I sue when Waymo hits me? That's a great question. That's a fantastic question. Who knows? Who knows? Angela says, you're not supposed to hold up traffic in Montana now. Learn to drive in New Jersey. Okay. Abby says, I'm from Florida. Don't drive, but that doesn't make sense. Benjamin says, when I would do Uber in the city, it would take me down wrong way streets. Of course. Of course. And that's you driving. And then that's just your GPS telling you the wrong thing. So imagine the GPS telling the AI. It's going to be all over the place. J. Cole says, only if you can block the lane or a lane, it can work, but it's not safe. I've never done that. I've never made that kind of turn while I'm blocking traffic. Like, that's like if you got an emergency or something like that going on, but not just regular driving. Hey, the coast got to be clear on both sides, or I just turn right and then I turn back around. Because I do that a lot out here, but we don't have those big highways like that. We got these 2-lane country roads, one on one side, one on the other side. And if you want to turn left, you wait there for a while until the coast is clear. And if you're there for like 5 minutes and that left is still going, and just take a right and then turn around. People always do that in the morning. If they got to exit a subdivision in the morning and they live on the main artery, it's a 2-lane highway, they got to wait or just turn right and come back around. Anyway, let's keep on going. That's another Waymo issue. Okay. Here's another one. Please pardon the cussing. But you got some guys trying to go to work, trying to go to this construction site. They got heavy equipment, trucks. And for some reason, the Waymo is at the construction site. Let's watch.
Man, fucking Waymo's in the damn way. We're trying to get all these trucks in this damn entrance. And it's trying to come on a damn construction site. Get the fuck out of the way, Waymos. Man.
Now, my question is, what is Waymo doing right there at the construction site? Is somebody getting a ride? Like, what's really going on? And, hey, you trying to work. You got heavy vehicles, heavy equipment, trucks, all kind of stuff that you're trying to get loaded up, and the Waymo's in the way. Like, what's happening? Now, speaking about taking the right-hand turn, somebody was saying that it's impressive how they can take right-hand turns. Oh, okay. Now, can they? Can they really? I'm not really sure. And you know what? Seeing that first video and then seeing this one makes me think that at a certain point, like I said, it's a guy over in the Philippines with a video game steering wheel and the video game pedals driving your car for you in certain situations. It might get an alert. Intersection. Okay, now I got to jump in. And then drive it manually. That's what I think is happening. And when it gets that alert, it goes with a guy in Philippines. He put on his headset, get the steering wheel and everything fired up, and he drives for you. Matter of fact, he might do that for 8 hours a day. He'll just get requests. He's like a virtual Uber driver, but driving you in the car that you're in without being in the car with you. But let's watch this right quick, making the right-hand turn in the Waymo.
How long does it take for the no driver car to get moving here? The officer up, he gave him a chance.
And the cop even let him get a chance and drove off. Now, here's my question. Will the police, if you do something illegal or improper in the Waymo, what happens? Do you get pulled over? Does the Waymo get pulled over with nobody driving it? How does that work? Who's responsible at that point?
He gave him a chance. Up the school bus. Oh, no. Up. Oh, he almost got hit by a bus. Oh, man, this is a movie. Oh, look how long this has been waiting for this car to turn. Look at this. He's been waiting. This black car is behind him, been waiting for 2 minutes already. Oh, look at this. Is he going? Is he doing it? Wow. This is a cautious grandma. Oh, wow. He did that kind of turn.
I have a question. Do you think that maneuver was done by the AI or a regular human being driving the car with a remote steering wheel? Because that appeared to be very human. And there go that blocking the traffic again. You can't really do that. Now the cop is seeing this happen. He don't know what to do. But you can't do stuff like that. If I do that, if I block the road and the cop's right there, he hitting the lights immediately. But hey, y'all got it. Y'all got it. Don't worry about it. Okay. I got one more Waymo video. It's to the point now where it's so many of these videos. You know what's happening? You guys who take Waymos are being beta tested. You know what that is? You know what a beta test is? A beta test is when there's a new product that they want to test. Okay, this is a version of it that we think is ready to hit the market. It's pretty much ready to go, but we got some bugs and it's not all the way right. It doesn't know certain situations. So we got to have the Waymo go out there to learn situations, to understand how to deal with it. But in order to learn, he's got to experience it. But sometimes when he experiences a situation, it ain't really, it doesn't really go right. All right, now, here we go. Now, this Waymo stopped right before a railroad crossing inside of the actual arm that came down.
Safety concerns at this railroad crossing for a driverless Waymo vehicle in Austin, Texas. The car stopped between the safety arm and the tracks just as that train passed. Waymo says there was no passenger in the car. Company says its vehicles have crossed that location hundreds of times without incident, but says it will now review that location. Waymo has insisted its self-driving cars are safer than human drivers, despite recent incidents making headlines.
There we go. So, yeah. Hey, imagine being in the vehicle and you see that. Hey, imagine. And the thing about it is, it might just decide to creep forward. But see, a regular human being wouldn't do that. But the Waymo might, because there's no human being in the car. All right, let's keep on moving here. Let's keep on rocking and rolling. Now, speaking about vehicles, LAX is doubling the fee for all Ubers, Lyfts, taxis, and limos to try and ease airport traffic, okay? Hey, they have ways you can get from LAX to where you got to go, but it's so expensive. Like, Ubers and whatnot in LA in general are expensive. You going 3 miles, 4 miles, that'd be $75 in the regular Uber. When I first went to LAX, well, my second time moving to LAX, I took one of these cars that was already right there. $100 to go from the airport to my hotel, which was basically at the airport. $100 off the rip. Boom. Uber, Lyft, you call that to the thing, you're going to wait for a while, and you're going to pay arm and a leg. Now, I didn't know they had these shuttles. You got to take that. They want to put you on public transportation, but they don't really have an extensive network. Ain't no subway or nothing like that as far as I know. Anyway, let's watch this.
LA World Airports Commission has approved increasing fees for rideshare pickups and drop-offs at LAX. Fees for services like Uber, Lyft, taxis, and even limousines are set to go up from the current $4 to $6 each way. Those could start at the end of April. The fee would then increase to $12 once the LAX People Mover starts operating, which is expected later this year. Currently, the fees are absorbed by the service companies. Airport officials hope it stays that way.
Is that what's going on? You think the fees are going to be absorbed by the company and they won't pass it on to the consumer? You're out of your mind. You're out of your mind. It will most certainly be passed on to the consumer. That's how these things work.
LAX has not raised its commercial access fee since 2016. So this takes us into alignment with the market today. It is a fee that is for the commercial provider. So we're hopeful that it's not passed on to drivers or customers.
The fee hike is part of an effort to reduce traffic congestion through the arrival and departure areas of the airport.
Now, the thing about it is, it doesn't make any sense. If the purpose of the fee is to reduce traffic, then you know that it will impact the customer, because you're going to have fewer of the vehicles going there because you're going to decrease the demand because you're raising the price. People will just ride a shuttle or something like that rather than taking as many Ubers and whatnot as they do. California, man, the people that run it, I don't know, man, morons at best. At best. Now, speaking about fees and taxes and whatnot, New York City. All right, so wasn't it a thing where they had a ban on cars? And you know, I don't know. It was a whole thing about they were trying to ban cars. There was going to be a fee. I think it might have been they increased the fee to come into the city. Anyway, they're also they floated the idea of making all the 3 million free parking spaces in New York City paid. All of them. Watch.
What if the city's 3 million free parking spaces weren't free?
Over $1 billion worth of revenue that could be generated for the city.
Manhattan Borough President Brad Hoylman-Siegel says that could help residents find spaces and raise money.
But more importantly, this is, in my mind, not about nickel and diming Manhattanites. This is about giving them a consistent place to park their car.
It's an idea that's been floated before, and it seemed to get fresh life this week when the first deputy mayor sounded open to it.
It's not a no.
Deputy Mayor Dean Foulahan confirming all revenue ideas are on the table with the city facing a giant deficit.
We have to solve this fundamental structural problem, and we need your help to solve that fundamental structural problem.
But the mayor today clarified, you do not fill a $5.4 billion budget gap through parking meters. We need structural change at the scale necessary to put our city back on firm financial footing. As for New Yorkers wondering if their days of parking free are numbered, Richie Cruz asked the money question.
How high would they go as far as buying the spot? Would they have a set price for everyone so everyone could afford the spot, or is it for the rich to buy?
Well, you already know what time it is with that. You know it's going to be expensive because the idea is to reduce traffic. They don't put you on public transportation, but they got to improve that. And they also got to raise money. So they may not even improve transportation, give you the same old raggedy buses, the same old train with the rats and the cats and the bats and the dogs. But you're just going to have to pay more taxes ultimately to have the city function the way they want it to function. Rather than cutting the spending, they just want to spend, but they got to raise money to be able to spend. All right. But shout out to you guys. If you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. Now, remember this guy right here? Okay, this is crazy because this is Walter Masterson, I believe. He was a guy out there in front of the Gracie Mansion as a counter protester to Jake Lang's anti-Islam protest. He's talking about we don't want anyone from outside coming here telling us who we should have in our country. He was a pro-Muslim guy, okay? And remember what happened to him as he was saying that. If you don't remember, let's watch.
We were born and raised in New York, and we want everyone here to stay in New York. You don't get to come from outside and then tell everyone else.
Now, that right there was Muhammad number one throwing an IED over his head and saying Allahu Akbar. Okay, can we get the freeze frame right quick? Just so we on the same page, because this video, of course, has gone viral and he's responded. Oh, he responded. Okay, remember this? Yes. This guy right here has responded to this video going viral of Muhammad number one holding the IED, shrapnel bomb, screaming Allahu Akbar. Okay? Now, I saw this video posted at first, and here was his initial comment. And I didn't report this part of the thing. I was going to let him just get it past. I'm like, okay, I'm not trying to put you out there, bro. I'm not trying to embarrass you. So I refrain from even showing this. But let's just show this for context before we get to the response. He says, I was in the middle of saying, as a born and raised New Yorker, we welcome everyone into this city, when he threw that over my head. And then he says, and I'll still stand by it. As a born and raised New Yorker, everyone is welcome except for that goat effer, Jake Lang. Okay? Now, he doesn't like Jake Lang. I'm not a Jake Lang fan either, but I think these guys are two peas of the same pod. And we'll get to that in a minute. Let me go back here and pull up his response.
You don't get to.
Here we go.
You don't get to come from outside and then tell everyone else.
That's me in the video getting a bomb thrown over my head. Let me just give you some context for what was happening. So this was at a rally hosted by white supremacist Jake Lang. He's a domestic terrorist from January 6th, pardoned by Donald Trump. He was holding an anti-Muslim rally when this guy jumped over me and committed an act of terrorism. That sounds confusing. Let me start over. So Jake Lang was holding the rally. He's known for three things: being a domestic terrorist from January 6th, pardoned by Donald Trump, losing to the letter S, and, as we found out today, grooming 15-year-old girls. Jake Lang was holding this rally saying things like this.
America is a white Christian country.
If you're saying America is for white Christian men, you're a white supremacist. Now, I really want to be clear that I made a huge mistake in not taking cover after this explosive device was thrown. If you're at a public event and someone throws what looks like an explosive device, you're not a wimp for taking cover. We were counter-protesting, making Jake Lang look like the idiot that he is, when these two idiots came along and committed an act of terrorism. They could not have done more to legitimize Jake Lang's white supremacist talking points. They literally threw the bomb over my head while I was talking about inclusion. The CIA should definitely be paying them at this point. I just want to reiterate that I was not practicing safety that day. I could have been killed, and that weighs very heavy on both me and my family. And all that being said, I'm not going to use this as an excuse to be a xenophobic bigot. Elon Musk and all of right-wing media are having a field day right now because I am choosing inclusion and not bigotry. I still stand by my original point, which is I'm a native New Yorker. I was born and raised in New York. New York City is for everyone, except for terrorists who throw bombs and goat fucking white supremacists like Jake Lang.
Okay, now, bro, I get it. You don't like Jake Lang. Fantastic. But let's address the elephant in the room, bro. The dude, Allahu Akbar right over your head. He Allahu Akbar right over your head. That should be a real life red pill moment. It should be. If I was a guy out there talking about inclusion and everybody's welcome and all this, that, and the third, trying to be a counter protester, if I'm trying to be a counter protestor at an anti-Islam rally in favor of Islam, something like that would be a rude awakening. It'd be a red pill moment. Oh my goodness, I'm trying to help these guys. Meanwhile, he has an IED over my head screaming Allahu Akbar. But these lefties are so dedicated to their ideology, they'll totally ignore the reality. Bro, the IED was on your head. Hey, I got a question for you, sir. What if it blew up? Oh, my Lord. If it blew up, bro, you'd be in so much pain if you were still living. You would be in the world of pain. It'd be ridiculous. And also, yeah, next time when somebody says Allahu Akbar and they throw a bomb, you might want to seek cover. Don't be like, oh, what's that? Is that a bomb? Oh, my goodness. There's more to this guy. What's his name? Daniel Masterson? Walter Masterson. Yeah, Walter Masterson. I said Daniel. Walter Masterson. That's his name. Now, this guy apparently disguised himself and tried to go so dissent on January 6th. Is that what he did? This is a tweet from 2024. This is an old tweet of the same guy.
He's getting his disguise on.
Okay, so I'm gonna wear a mask underneath the mask. Okay.
Just for a little extra protection, because it's very well maybe a super spreader kind of thing.
You should wear this.
Oh God.
Here, this is your mask.
Oh my God, the America mask. I might take this America beanie too, because this Trump 2020 hat, hard to stomach. I might wear it backwards so I don't have to be too heavy.
Dude, I'm not fucking with you. You gotta blend in. I'm absolutely not kidding. You need to have an identifier. They won't trust you unless there's a visual, like there's something visual.
What do we think, folks? Do we trust this is a Trump supporter? There is an imposter among us.
I mean, you could also wear this.
ABL, there was nobody from the left at January 6th. It was all just Trump supporters. There was nobody from the left. There was no federal agents. Oh, okay. All right. You know what I think? I think that Walter Masterson, Jake Lang, a lot of these guys are former Antifa who have moved on to other things. Okay, now they're doing different things to get recognition for themselves, to get some attention, to raise some money. That's my humble opinion about what's happening here. But hey, we see now why he's so hung up on Jake Lang, probably because they broke from the same gang and they've gone different ways. Might be his ex-boyfriend. You know how they do. But anyway, if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. Okay. Now we got a hero from the event. Okay. I want to say his name correctly. This is NYPD Chief Aaron Edwards. Remember him hopping over the barrier? Now, of course, shout out to all the NYPD who rushed to the scene and got Muhammad #1 and Muhammad #2 in custody. But this picture went viral. So here he is talking about that. Let's let it rock.
In that moment, you know, we had to pivot from one type of policing to a different type of policing. And I think the way that we transitioned was really good. In terms of going viral, first off, I'm happy that I cleared that barrier. Okay, imagine if I fell. But to me, it was just instant. I'm trying to get the bad guy. I was in real pursuit trying to get him. And just the picture going viral. I don't want that picture to be about me. I want it to be about the day. I want it to be about what we did. I want that picture to be a reminder to New Yorkers that your cops, the members of the NYPD, we're going to be relentless in pursuing justice, right? And there's going to be no obstacles. Nothing's going to stand in our way from protecting New Yorkers. In that moment.
There we go. So shout out to him. And again, his name is NYPD Chief Aaron Edwards. Great picture. But of course, he said, hey, it's not just about me. It's about NYPD. It's about all of us, what we did that day. It's about the mission in general. We're going to be relentless. We're going to pursue justice. And that's what it is. So a very symbolic photo right there. Okay.
Good afternoon.
Now, here's a little bit about Muhammad number 1 and Muhammad number 2. Then we're going to move on.
Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to One Police Plaza, home to the greatest police department in the world. Earlier today, I provided an update on the investigation into explosive devices that were ignited and deployed on Saturday during protests outside of Gracie Mansion. We can now share that federal charges have been filed in the Southern District of New York against 2 individuals, Amir Balat and Ibrahim Kayumi, in connection with that attack. The defendants are charged with attempting to provide material support to ISIS, using a weapon of mass destruction, transporting explosive materials, interstate transportation and receipt of explosive materials, and unlawful possession of destructive devices. The complaint sets forth the factual allegations supporting those charges. As alleged in the complaint, the defendants were inspired by ISIS to carry out their attack. There should be no confusion about what ISIS constitutes. It is a designated foreign terrorist organization responsible for deadly terrorist attacks across the globe and has taken credit for mass casualty attacks in Europe, the Middle East, and right here in the United States.
So I know what time it is. They had links to ISIS. They professed their dedication to ISIS, Muslim extremists. Muhammad number 1, his parents were from Afghanistan. Muhammad number 2, parents came from Turkey, but they were both U.S. citizens. So your parents came from Middle East, probably grew up, not a whole lot of money, worked hard, made it. And what do y'all do? Allahu Akbar. Y'all got to stop, man. Y'all got to stop being on your phone, getting radicalized. Y'all got to stop all that nonsense. Stop it all. Okay. Now, this was crazy. CNN put this on X Twitter and deleted it. You see what it says? 2 Pennsylvania teenagers crossed into New York City Saturday morning for what could have been a normal day, enjoying the city during abnormally warm weather. So, just 2 kids hanging out in the city, warm weather. But in less than an hour, their lives would drastically change as the pair would be arrested for throwing homemade bombs during an anti-Muslim protest outside of Zohran Mamdani's home. Here's what we know so far. This looks like it was written with AI because the tone is wrong. You see, it's one thing to have something grammatically correct in the correct tone, but this is grammatically correct in the wrong tone. It shouldn't be talking about Pennsylvania teenagers and it was a warm day. What they got to do with it? What's that got to do with it? Oh, they're just hanging out because it's warm? The tone is wrong. This is done by AI, in my humble opinion, and they didn't really look at it. They just let it go. But sometimes you should examine what you're doing before you put it out there. Just sometimes. Maybe it's just me, but I think sometimes you should look at what's happening. Now, instead of honoring the 2-star chief we just saw, Mamdani hosted, what's the guy's name? Mahmoud Khalif. Remember him? The guy from the college you got deported? Is he back? I didn't know he was back. Maybe I saw that and forgot. But let's go ahead and watch this right quick.
The other night, instead of hosting the 2-star police chief who leaped over the barricades and ran this guy down who had thrown the bomb, the mayor decides at Gracie Mansion to host Mahmoud Khalil. I mean, he's sending such a awful message here to the rank and file. And remember, the mayor, when he was a private citizen who had commented on Twitter then that he saw a cop crying in his car and nature was healing. This is something that, again, the men and women of the NYPD will do the right thing. They're going to enforce the laws. They're going to show up for work. But they understand that this man on the screen right now does not have their backs.
And those same cops that he wanted to defund, especially that unit that is responsible for the protests, they're the people that saved his life over the weekend. James, thanks so much for joining us this morning, brother.
Now, here's a picture of Zoran breaking bread with Mahmoud Khalil. Okay, there we go, right there. Breaking a Ramadan fast, because you know they do sun up to sundown. So at the sundown, they're having the feast. So there's Mahmoud. There go his wife with the little, semi-beatkeeper. There is Zoran, and then there's Zoran's wife. White guys at the chef, I don't know what's going on, but there we go at Gracie Mansion. Hey, Zoran, you got to read the room. I know you a Muslim, you're the first Muslim mayor. Okay, cool. But we just had an Allahu Akbar right outside of where you eating. Look at the optics of this, bro, but he don't care. Hey, but you know what? I wish him well as the mayor because New York City, that's a really important place. That's like the engine of our nation to a certain extent, but it's not going to be that anymore if Zoran goes in there and messes it up. All right, let's keep going here. Oh, also, here, this is funny. So Zoran Mamdani's budget director has delayed crucial testimony needed to address the city's grim financial state because he's fasting for Ramadan. Oh, okay, so your job is interrupted by your religion. Now, I want everyone to have their religion, to have their faith, and practice it how they see fit. But if you are hired for a job and you can't do the job, well, I don't know what to tell you. You got your religion, do your prayer, whatever. Okay, cool. But you still can't get the job done. Let's watch.
Morgan Mackay here now with what we learned today. Morgan.
Hey, Steve and Natasha. So City Comptroller Mark Levine painting a grim picture of the city's economic future, reporting that the city lost 38,000 private sector jobs over the last year. Today, the City Council kicked off their first budget hearing, and already there are mixed numbers. Levine testifying today that the city's budget gap will now likely be $7.3 billion over 2 years, almost $2 billion more than what the mayor's office has been projecting. Levine says he is strongly against the mayor's proposal to raise property taxes, pointing to how it will make the city's fiscal future even more uncertain. But he does think the state should give the city more money each year by changing the local aid formula. When asked about the proposal to raise taxes on millionaires and corporations, Levine kept the door open but was cautious.
Everything has to be on the table, but I also want to be cautious because we're relying on the financial sector to continue to show strength in order to meet our revenues. And if we undermine that, we could be in a deeper hole. So I want to be very careful that we don't do anything in our tax policy that would slow down this key sector that we need to pay for important programs for New Yorkers.
Now, usually the mayor's budget director will kick off testimony at the first council budget hearing, but City Hall says that the director will testify later in the month because he is fasting for Ramadan.
What in the world? Hey, man, listen, hear me well. I get it. You got your religion. You want to practice it. I understand. But what if you are a New York City resident and your taxpayer money is being spent on this guy who can't get his job done when he's supposed to because he got some other stuff going on? I don't care what it is. Your religion, you got some kind of surgery, you got, okay, well, can we get somebody to fill in the meantime? Can we just not do this because you got your religion in the way? Nah, bro. That's not what we're supposed to be doing. I don't think so, man. What do you think about that? Is it okay to just kind of, push that to the side until Ramadan is over with? Yeah, I got to be able to eat, you know what I'm saying? And if I don't have my meal like right at 2:00, I can't really function properly. I'm eating at 8:00 at night, man. That's too late. eating at 5 a.m. in the morning. It's too early, man. I can't really do that. That's funny. Anyway, do you think that New Yorkers will move from New York due to Mount Donnie? Let's hear from Bill O'Reilly.
Beach. We'll see if they move. I mean, you saw Bill.
They're going to move.
Well, look,
they're already moving.
Hold on, Bill Ackman.
No, they're not.
Hold on.
People say they're going to move all the time after elections. They don't do it.
Bill Ackman said he was going to move.
You know how many people moved out of New York City in the last 3 years? 600,000. They're moving.
Yeah, they're moving. They've been moving from COVID.
You know how many people moved out of your state, California?
Oh, I know. No,
Under Newsom?
Yeah, no. People do move.
A
There's no
million.
doubt about that. People move in America, and you're right.
But they're not moving because they want a better view. They like to keep more of their money that they earn.
Yeah, that's true.
Exactly. You know, everything is not just about the weather, because shout out to the California residents. I know California, you love it. I get it. I understand. It's a beautiful place. The scenery, the weather, I mean, it's kind of hard to beat that in the US of A. I get it. However, at a certain point, that might not be enough to keep someone there. That might not be enough. Okay, you got beautiful views, beautiful beaches, mountains are right there. You can go skiing and you can go surfing, and it ain't that far away. However, the policies of the state, the extra stuff happening in the state are an issue that you can't really get beyond. And the main thing with the left coast California is the taxes. The expense is it's soul crushing. The expense. If you got money, then shout out to you. If you're not blessed financially, then you got a problem. Now look, have you guys seen this chart where Americans move to 2025? This is kind of going viral a little bit. It's all over the place. So this is the net migration loss gain per 100,000 inhabitants. When it's red, that's people have left. When it's blue, people have gone there. The darker blue it is, darker red it is. That's the extremity in which it's happening. Now you can see California, negative 25.1. Okay. North Carolina is a little bit weird, negative 29.2. Maybe that's a mistake. It might be positive 29.2. I'm hearing quite a bit from North Carolina about there being a bit influx of people, but it could be right. I know what's right is left coast. 25.1, negative 25.1 California, negative 9.0 Oregon, negative 10.7 Washington State. Howard Schultz, the former CEO of Starbucks, has left Seattle, and he's bought a $44 million penthouse in Miami, Florida, Surfside, Florida, Miami-Dade County, right on the water. Beautiful. Beautiful. But look, you can see my state right here, Tennessee. I already knew what was going on. Look, I was in Virginia. Okay, they lost people, negative 13.7. These high energy bills and whatnot. There's all kind of stuff going on. But look at Alabama, plus 36 points. Mississippi, plus 17.9. The South has risen. All the other states have positive growth. All of them. Texas, Oklahoma, if you could call that southern state. Arkansas, Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, Tennessee, Kentucky, West Virginia even. South Carolina has the fastest per capita growth in the country, South Carolina. Georgia, of course, and Florida. Florida is slowing down because everybody's already in Florida. All the Californians and everybody then already went out there, you know. But you can see what's happening here. Now, where do you think is the best place to be out of this list? California's a nice place to be, but look at the people that are leaving. Hey man, it's expensive. New York, look at that. Illinois, I mean, we see what's happening. A lot of these places are deflating and they're being more distributed evenly all throughout the country. Arizona, of course, you got New Mexico, Arizona, Nevada has some growth. A lot of the California expats moving all across. Texas, of course, ain't going to stop no time soon. Texas is like its own country, basically. Okay. All right, hold on. Utah growing. But you can see some of the places that are leaving or losing population. Michigan, Kansas, Nebraska, Maine, 37.9, lower. Maryland, 27.4, lower. Delaware, 54.5, higher. Why? Pennsylvania people coming, New York people coming. Okay. Jersey people coming to Delaware for a better quality of life. All right. So that's what's happening. Hey, California might be a great place to live if you can afford it, and everybody can afford it. All right, let's keep on rocking and rolling. If you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. So Nick Shirley went back to Canal Street, where he done some investigative journalism. One of the guys out there selling bootleg watches and cologne and whatnot. He went out there during Eric Adams, and it wasn't as bad as it is right now. All the guys that might have got swept off the street are right back on that same street. It's too much money to be made out there.
The what? The scammers. We do. And how often do you guys come here? Every day. Every day? I arrest them every day. And they just come back? Just come back. You arrest them and then are they released on the street the next day? Really? They're released the next day. And how come you guys are just catching people then releasing them?
That's not up to us.
Who releases them the next day? The judge.
The what?
Of course, you know it's a judge. You know they don't really care. They're just kind of letting stuff go on. They're just letting stuff go on. And that's about the Canal Street guys out there selling fake watches and jewelry and whatnot. Okay.
Scammer.
Now,
as anyone,
here he is talking about it a little bit more on, I guess we got a Will Kane podcast. Shout out Will Kane. Okay, let's watch this.
As anyone who's been in New York knows, this isn't like uncommon for this to happen, but at the levels where it's happening now on Canal Street is absurd. They have taken over complete blocks. So I said, well, let me go set up my own shop because maybe I want to make some money too. And I don't want to have to pay taxes on the dollars I make like them. And as you see, they confront me. They try to get me to get off their block. But at the end of the day, they actually all got off the block and I was the only one who had my stuff there. And the people realized, maybe we shouldn't be selling out here. I just wanted to go show the process and show how it is and how the law is literally not being upheld in certain areas of New York City.
Yeah, of course not, because they don't really, they don't really care. It's kind of let stuff go on. They let stuff go on. They don't mind. Yeah, like you might be out there to do a sweep. Everybody gets arrested. They'll come right back the very next day. It just, catch and release. It's no big deal. And a lot of them probably not in the country legally. We're not going to call ICE. We're just going to kind of let it go. It's not really a big deal. Now, speaking about mayors, this is going to be Chicago Mayor Brandon Johnson. Okay, fresh off that Ozempic pack, fresh after that Ozempic treatment. I could tell. I see you. Okay, looking slender but still fat at the same time. But here he is with Chunk Yoger's nephew, Hassan, the guy that was abusing his dog in the background in this video, stay in the same place. Anyway, let's watch this.
I think that life after for Reverend Jackson will be kinder than the life that he lived.
Yeah.
And that's just, unfortunately, the nature of the beast, we call America or capitalism.
Yeah. I think it's super important.
I think that.
So he calls America the beast. The beast of capitalism, I suppose. But people that talk like that, America's a beast, capitalism sucks. People who talk like that don't make any moves to leave America. They don't make any moves to go to a socialist place or a communist place. They always want to stay right here in America. Now they have goals and aspirations of making America be what they want. They have goals of shaping America into their vision. But if their goal is achieved, then they're not going to like the results. You see, they want their ideas to actually work. They want their communist ideas to work when you do it, but it's not going to work. It never has worked and never will work. So what's the point in even talking about it? I don't even understand. You get some freedom of speech, I suppose, but I don't really understand the logic behind it, It doesn't make much sense to me. Let's keep on going. And if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. Okay, now, there was a warning about drones potentially hitting California. Now, I don't see that's really going to be the thing because, if you're going to launch a drone to hit California, where are you going to launch it from? Where? Russia? If that's the case, then we're talking about a war with Russia. Russia ain't going to do it. Russia would not be used as a staging ground. Japan ain't going to do it. China ain't going to do it. Korea ain't going to, North Korea, anybody going to do it. So where are you going to be able to launch a drone from? Where? Iran? If you launch a drone from Iran, it'll be shot down before it leaves Iran. It will not reach the west coast of California, but they said it's a possibility. They could put a rogue boat out there, some stealth boat, and then boom, they're going to hit LA. Let's watch this right quick.
The FBI warning of possible Iranian drone attacks on our homeland. A new alert reviewed by ABC News revealing Iran's aspirations to conduct a surprise attack specifically against unspecified targets in California. The FBI saying it's warned police departments across the Golden State now of strikes by unmanned aerial vehicles or drones as tensions rise in the Middle East. Let's get straight to our chief investigative correspondent, Aaron Kontersky. Aaron, what are you learning?
We've reviewed an alert that came within the last couple of weeks, Kira, just recently from the FBI to law enforcement agencies up and down the California coastline, warning that Iran is aspiring now to perhaps launch some kind of a retaliatory attack on the U.S. mainland using drones on the West Coast. The alert that we reviewed said an uncorroborated report suggested that unidentified Mexican cartel leaders had authorized attacks using drones carrying explosives, so they know that capability exists. And the separate alert that we've reviewed, Kira, says that Iran has those same kinds of aspirations. So the U.S. has broadly known for some time that drones could be deployed against the homeland. We know that Iran has been using drones significantly in this 12-day-old war.
Now, I have a question. Do you guys think that that'll actually happen, that the Iranians will hit California with drones? I don't think so, because you got to have a place to launch it from. And where are you really going? Mexico? If Mexico does that, then that's going to be night for them. That's going to be, they're not going to do nothing like that. You got to get a country that's not aligned with the U.S., but also a country that would not mind a retaliation. Like, they're going to launch it from Iran, in my humble opinion. So I don't really see it happening. All right. But shout out to you guys. I appreciate y'all for rocking and rolling. If you like what you're hearing tonight, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. Let's keep on going here. So remember that video I posted? You may or may not. It was a short, I believe. It was about Dr. Oz exposing some fraud in California. Well, Gavin Newsom, the California government, are suing him for that video. Let's watch.
Governor Gavin Newsom's office is filing a civil rights complaint against Dr. Oz, who is currently serving as administrator of the Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services. The governor is seeking an investigation into Oz's, quote, baseless and racist allegations against Armenian Americans in California. His complaint is in response to this video that Dr. Oz posted on his social media this week. In the video, the former TV host claimed without proof that the businesses controlled by Armenians in Van Nuys are fronts for healthcare fraud schemes. The governor reacted to the comments during a discussion in San Francisco.
Went down attacking the Armenian community just a few days ago. A business is down now 30%. Poor guy, small businessman, running a bakery because he decided to do a little TikTok video or something, saying they're somehow connected to the mob around hospice.
Now, the state's complaint says Oz's statements show a discriminatory motive that could affect how investigations into fraud are conducted.
All right, there we go. So that's interesting. So are they trying to say Dr. Oz is racist because he's Turkish and there's a beef with the Turkish and the Armenians? Is that what's going on? Am I hearing that correctly? Is that even a thing? I don't know. Y'all, I'm kind of ignorant about that particular neck of the woods. I know there was a Young Turks and they had an issue with the Armenians, like Chunt Yeager and Anna Kasparian. But anyway, I digress. Yeah, I think that there might be something going on because you're talking about one business that was affected. What about all the other ones? There was a bunch of businesses right there. So do those businesses actually exist or are they fronts or something else? You're talking about one baker. Maybe he's legitimate. How about the other 20 businesses in that same building? let's talk about it for real. Let's not even do that. If I'm Gavin, I wouldn't even try to pursue this because where there's smoke, there's fire. And Dr. Oz is onto something. So ain't no point in trying to hide it and fight it in court. Anyway, let's keep on going. Let's keep going here. Now, Dr. Oz, speaking about him, Trump was at a rally today. Or what was it? Was it today? Yeah, today. He's at a rally today, at a Trump rally. And someone had a medical emergency in the crowd. And Dr. Oz was there. He was able to help the woman. You see? Dr. Oz right there. So shout out to having a doctor in the, administration, like a real doctor that can help. Not Dr. Fauci, okay, but a real doctor. There's no sound here, but you can kind of see what's going on. The lady had an emergency. She fell out or whatever. Dr. Oz, he got her, and then Trump waved at her. She waved back. There we go. Shout out to Oz for being there to look out for the lady in the audience. Okay, now, speaking about Trump, Iran, all that kind of good stuff. He's going to get a question from a reporter. Can you hear this question? It might be a little jumbled. It might be a little difficult to hear. Let's check it out.
In Iraqi parliament, student, member slogan, date to America, date to Israel. What is your response to them? What is your message for Iraqi government?
What did he say?
In Iraqi parliament, slogan, date of America, date of Israel, member of the parliament.
Death to America, death to Israel. What's your response?
That's not a nice question.
Mr. President,
So he was saying that a member of parliament in Iran said death to America, death to Israel. But that accent was crucial. I mean, them R's getting rolled. Death to America. I'm like, so yeah, Trump and accents, not a very good, the English got to be Englishing. It can't really be like that. I mean, I got it, but still I'm like this with my headphones. And the second time was worse than the first time. But yeah, shout out to him for getting the question out. But shout out to our press secretary, Caroline Levitt, for doing that quick translate on the fly. That was fantastic. Okay, a pro as always. Now, let's get to the whole thing about the school because that's been the topic of discussion. I probably got to do a video about it. So there's a report out that says that the U.S. is responsible for hitting a school with a Tomahawk missile, killing like 150 girls. Okay, we're going to get into that. Let's just get through all these videos first. I did understand that EM6840 the first time. The second time, it was too much. It was too much of that going on. I couldn't understand it. But the first time I got it, but I had to still go like that to get the full volume in my ear. But let's watch this.
Did the United States bomb a girls' elementary school in southern Iran on the first day of the war and kill 175 people?
In my opinion, based on what I've seen, that was done by Iran.
Is that true, Mr. Hickson? It was Iran who did that?
We're certainly investigating.
Still investigating.
But the only side that targets civilians is Iran.
We think it was done. We think it was done by Iran.
Can you give us an idea?
Because they're very inaccurate, as you know, with their munitions. They have no accuracy whatsoever. It was done by Iran.
All right, so that was the initial thought about it. Pete Hegseth said we're still investigating. Now, let's keep on going here. Here is an article from New York Times. Was this today? I believe. Yes, today, 3:49 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can see what it says right here. U.S. at fault in strike on school in Iran. Preliminary inquiry says outdated targeting data may have resulted in a mistaken missile strike, according to the ongoing military investigation, which undercuts President Trump's assertion that Iran could be to blame. Now, here's a school. Here is the rubble and whatnot. Okay, let's see to show a map. Okay, here's a video. Now, here's the IRGC compound. The Islamic Republic. This is the Iranian government, the regime. Okay, the Iranian regime. So this whole thing that's outlined with this road right here, that whole thing was the compound. And it just so happened to put a school right there in the compound. Now, I wonder why they would do that. Why would they put a school right there? Any kind of military installation is going to be a target for enemy combatants to attack. If you put a school right there, what's going to happen is they're going to use data that they have to target that area, and they're going to hit that school as a result. The school should not be there at all. The school is right there because they probably wanted it to get hit. Let's not forget, the Iranians killed at least 40,000 of their own people for protesting in 2 days. And there were hundreds, if not thousands more killed every day after the protests happened for a month. For a month. So if they killed at least 40,000 of their own people, why would they not set 150 more up or 170 more up? Why wouldn't they do that if they already killed 40,000? What's 170 to 40,000? That 170 number was nothing compared to what they did every day after the first 40,000. So when people talk about the school, they're not talking about the full context of the situation. And then when I say 40,000 people, hundreds a day, and I give them links, oh, I don't believe that. I don't believe that. That ain't really happened. You're making excuses. But it's all about this particular thing right here. And then when I asked them, hey, you know what? Do you think the Iranian regime killed anybody for protesting? Yeah, I do. Okay, how many? Exactly. If you know they've killed people, then why are you focused on the school getting hit? Which was clearly a mistake if we did it, because the school was on the Iranian regime's military base where it shouldn't have been. Well, let's watch this.
Tonight, this new video, geolocated and verified by NBC News, shows what experts say is a U.S. Tomahawk missile over the skies of Manab, Iran, adding evidence, the experts say, that an American missile likely hit the Shajre Taibeh Elementary School during the first hours of U.S.-Israeli operations on February 28th. Iranian officials say the airstrikes, which also hit a neighboring Iranian Revolutionary Guard Corps compound, once home to a military base, killed more than 170 people, mostly children.
The Tomahawk, which is one of the most powerful weapons around, is used by, is sold and used by other countries. That's being investigated right now.
Weapons expert Jeffrey Lewis says this new video is clear.
I think the munition that is visible in that video is clearly a Tomahawk. It's long, cylindrical, it has a set of wings, and really no other country in this conflict has a munition that looks like that.
NBC News spoke with 4 other weapons experts who agree the video, which was published on Iranian state media, shows a U.S. Tomahawk. The U.S. military has publicly said Tomahawks were launched in the first hours of the war, even releasing this video. Over the weekend, a reporter asked President Trump if the U.S. was responsible.
No, in my opinion, based on what I've seen, that was done by Iran.
Today, NBC News spoke on the phone with a father who said his 8-year-old daughter Zahra was killed in the strikes. There is no crime greater than this, he said, that so many children, boys and girls, innocent little ones, were torn apart. Molly Hunter, NBC News.
So there we go. Now, that will be the narrative on the media, but they won't talk about the Iranian regime and their atrocities. They'll totally just dismiss it. Now, someone may have said, where's the videos, dead bodies? I mean, you can search for it if you want to. Go on Twitter. You'll find it. I mean, if you could stomach, seeing decapitated people, go ahead, knock yourself out. But I can't play that on the internet. But, I mean, there's Iranians in Iran commenting on my post about this, saying, thank you. I'm in Iran right now. You can verify that they're in Iran. I'm in Iran right now. Thank you. Internet is spotty here. Thank you for telling the truth about what's happening in our country. This is why so many Iranians were happy that the U.S. went ahead and did what they're doing, because so many Iranians were being killed by the regime. That's why. So it kind of just fits, don't it? Now, look, here's Hillary Clinton saying that President Trump is doing much better in the second term.
I think.
And let's let it rock.
I think all of that is a very good signal that there is beginning to be a better understanding, both by the president and the people around him, as well as by the leaders of our European allies, that there can be common ground amongst us. And the kind of dismissiveness that we saw in the first Trump administration has been replaced by a much more obvious working relationship to the good of European security, transatlantic security, and hopefully Ukrainian security. So I'm actually encouraged. I think all of that is a very...
All right, there we go. So that's Hillary talking about she's encouraged about Trump's second term. Imagine that. Imagine that. Hillary Clinton. All right. Hey, the Clintons, they were wild, though. Their time in office, if you were not alive during their time in office, man, you missed something special. They were crazy. Still are, but they were definitely crazy back then. Okay, let's keep on going here. Now, this is going to be Joy Reid. She's on this podcast with, what's this, Godfrey, and a former NFL player, I forget his name. Is it Osi Umenyiora? I'm not quite sure. But anyway, here he is talking about Akbar Umenyiora. Anyway, here he is talking, here's Joy Reid talking about President Trump, and she's comparing him to the vampires and sinners. And if you have not seen Sinners, basically, they started a juke joint in Mississippi, and there were some whites outside who were playing music in the forest. Anyway, they came up to the juke joint asking to come in, but there was something wrong, something clearly wrong. They were vampires, and they had to get invited to come in. I ain't gonna spoil the movie, but that's the context. Let's watch this.
We are losing our empire. Our empire is fading. Donald Trump is a fading dictator who's basically running us out. He's wringing out whatever was good in this country, and he's going to turn us into a third world country. America is going to be the ghetto because of Donald John Trump. And I liken the election in 2024 to that scene in Sinners where those people were in the juke joint. And you know what the rule is when you're in a juke joint. Don't let the vampires in. And these motherfuckers let the vampires in. Yeah. And it never goes well. When
you think China is looking at this and going, wait, this is why we're going to start? Because you're seeing a big presence around Africa. You see Nigeria helping to build infrastructure.
You know who China is in Sinners? The indigenous people. They said, we told you that there were some vampires over there, and we said they was dancing an Irish jig. If you don't want to hear it, we're out. They're waiting for everything to take place in the juke joint and just waiting to clean up the pieces. China, we are entering the great China century. China will win the Game of Thrones.
Wow, that's deep.
Okay, there's so much going on. Now, first of all, if we're speaking, and the guy is Akbar Gabia-Mila, his brother Kabir Gabia-Mila. Anyway, shout out to the Africans. Him and Godfrey, Akbar and Godfrey, they're the host of the show with Joy Reid on there as a guest. Now, the vampires in this case, those who are going to be invited into the country or those who were invited into the country and are doing the wrong thing, that's the illegal aliens. The criminal aliens coming in here with drugs, guns, disease, violence, chaos, mayhem, misery, expenses. That's the vampires you got to be worried about. That is who you don't want here. Trump is doing what needs to happen. And not just Trump, but the entire administration is doing what needs to happen to ensure that America is going to be who we are now in the future. China is a paper tiger at best. Their allies got hit. Iran got hit. Venezuela got hit. Where's China at? China got their own problems. China has a decaying country right now. They got some serious problems, birth rate issues. They got all kind of stuff going on in China. China is not perfect. Okay. What we want, or what I want, is for the United States to maintain our part of the world, maintain our position, and continue to improve and get better. And I want them to have their part of the world and improve and get better. If that happens, then I think we have a better world to live in. At the same time, I don't want these countries to take over other countries and rob them of sovereignty. I want these big countries to be an assist to the small countries, but not like in the paternal sense. Trump is doing what's right. But see, some people, they're so hung up on the I hate Trump, orange man bad, that they can't see anything beyond that. All they can see is that, and that's it. Unfortunately. All right, let's keep going here. Now, how you feel about Jake Paul getting into politics? For real. Like, okay, I'm not sitting here telling you that I would ever in my natural born human adult life vote for a Jake Paul, Logan Paul, Jake from State Farm, Jake the Snake Roberts. Nobody. But I'm asking you because Trump said something about it. Let's watch.
No, he's a great guy. He's a courageous guy and a talented guy. He's a hell of a fighter, too, by the way. And I just want to say, I'm going to make a prediction that you will be, in the not-too-distant future, running for political office. Okay? And you have my complete and total endorsement, okay? No, that's what we want. He's an incredible guy. A lot of courage and smarts. So in 4...
So the context, I believe it was in Ohio, and Jake Paul's from Ohio, I think. No, it's Kentucky, actually, Kentucky, which is not that far. Hold on. Hebron, Kentucky, where is that? Is that like Cincinnati? Yeah, it's like right there. That's like Cincinnati Metro. So you're basically in Cincinnati, as they call it, and Jake Paul's from Ohio. So you're right in his neck of the woods. What do y'all think about Jake Paul running for office? Hey, if you ask me, I say absolutely not. Absolutely not. I'm not seeing I don't want to see no punching bag run for office. Some $1 million punching bag run for office. Nah, I'm good. And it might be a perfectly nice guy, but I'm good. Don't worry about it. Now, I'm going to show you guys a video about hospice fraud in California, but I want you to notice something about the video. Like, watch the video for a little while and tell me if you see anything familiar. If you see anything familiar, just let me know. Just give me a heads up. Hey, it looks like X, Y, and Z. Okay. Let's watch this.
The government thinks this woman is dying in hospice care, but she just humiliated me, schooled me on the pickleball court. She's definitely not dying. She is a victim, though, of hospice fraud. So hospice fraud costs taxpayers hundreds of millions of dollars every year. And California is ground zero. So basically, people steal Medicare numbers, they enroll them in hospices, and then bill for tens, sometimes hundreds of thousands of dollars. A lot of these companies are just fronts. So over 700 of the roughly 1,800 hospices in LA County trigger multiple red flags for possible fraud. So we went door to door, and what we found was empty office spaces, piled up mail, and not a single healthcare worker in sight. There's even a stretch in LA with 500 registered hospice companies within just 3 miles of each other. In fact, there's even a single building with 89 registered hospice companies. We wanted to get some answers.
Okay, so my name is Adam Yamaguchi and I'm with CBS News. And we're doing a story about hospice, and we're just trying to understand how and why there's so many hospice agencies in like a small cluster in LA County.
Okay, so obviously some fraud going on, but what do you see about this video that is like, hey, I recognize that? Exactly. Thank you, Bak MIT. Nick Shirley wannabe. They got them an Asian, they got them a Japanese Jim Bro version of Nick Shirley. That's what this is. Now, this could be a good thing because if you have news outlets that do this kind of work, it could be a good thing because let's not forget CBS News, as you see right here, this logo in the top left. CBS News is now being run by Bari Weiss, and Bari Weiss is kind of like, kind of centrist, she went to the conservatives a little bit. She kind of helps us out a little bit. I understand the general idea here, but the format is a little bit too Nick Shirley. A little bit too Nick Shirley. And if that's the case, it's okay, but bring him on your network. Let everybody know who he is, because he's out there doing some real work independently without being part of a corporation. But one thing corporations do is that when they see things that are working from independent people, they take it all the time. If you say something on social media, you got a certain catchphrase and you got a following, don't be surprised if you turn on TV and they're saying your exact same thing. I've seen that a little bit here and there, with my own stuff. And it's okay because I'm here to teach. But understand that your big corporations are often following guys like me. They're following your Nick Shirley. They're following your Brandon Tatum. They're following the online guys first. We innovate and they just duplicate. And it's okay if they have good intention and if they're not trying to like X us out. They can't sit there and say, don't believe these influencers. They don't know what they're talking about and then go out and do what we do. As long as you're not doing that, it's okay, Barry Weiss. I'll give you a pass. All right, let's keep on going. Yeah, some of y'all saying something about Barry Weiss. I get it, because everybody has a different opinion. I totally understand. But I think that she's better than some. Okay, now, if you did not see this particular speech from Jesse Jackson Jr., I'm going to play a minute of it. This is really good. Because before his father's funeral, Jesse Jackson Jr. asked the presidents who were going to be there to keep it apolitical. No politics involved. Just pay your respects. Be respectful. Be kind. Be courteous. However, you had Barack Obama, Bill Clinton, and Joe Biden go up there and be political. Joe Biden even cussed. It was crazy. Now, here is Jesse Jackson Jr.'s response. A little bit of it, a snippet.
I listened for several hours of 3 United States presidents who do not know Jesse Jackson. He maintained a tense relationship with the political order, not because the presidents were white or black, but the demands of our message, the demands of speaking for the least of these, those who were disinherited, the damned, the dispossessed, the disrespected, demanded not Democratic or Republican solutions, but demanded a consistent, prophetic voice that at no point in time ever sold us out as a people. And it speaks volumes about who the Reverend Jesse Jackson was.
There we go. So he's saying, this whole Democrat, Republican, all this and that was not who my father was. He was about maintaining a relationship with the political apparatus in general, whoever was in there. Let's get this done. It's not about just being party affiliated one way or the other. Okay, that's the reality of his father. Okay, now, hold on. Let me see if I can play this right quick. Now, this guy is not really in the frame of Jesse Jackson or Jesse Jackson Jr. He's not really in the frame of let's all get along. We're all on the same page. Let's work together. He's not really on that. And I wanted to show this because I have a response. Okay, let's go ahead and let it rock.
Let's make something clear. Black Americans and white Americans, we gonna forever have beef. We'll never get along. Black power.
Okay, now, bro, come on, man. Why you gotta say something like that? Why you gotta be a doomer? It's not even like that. Listen, Black Americans or white Americans are Americans. And we've been among each other for a very long time. Now, some of us don't get along, just like some black folks don't get along and some white folks don't get along. But I think, in general, just going outside, living your everyday life, we get along just fine, okay? I'm among blacks, whites, everything all the time, and it's not really a big deal. As long as you do right and they do right, it's okay. There's some different culture and customs sometimes, but it's not that big of a deal, especially down south. We've been here for a very long time. They've been here for a very long time. It's okay. We get along more than we don't get along. You know who is an issue in this country? Who we got a problem with? Those that are coming here illegally and committing crime. That's who the big issue is. I think Black Americans, white Americans, Americans in general could come together on the issue of the illegal aliens coming here with the drugs and the guns and the violence. I think all of us, regardless of color, want the same thing at the end. We focus on that, the color ain't really going to matter. So yeah, shout out to that guy. I mean, Jesse Jackson wasn't really on that. Of course, you want to help Black Americans because there's some things that nobody else can do except for other Black Americans. I mean, you're not going to call the white man and say, hey, can you please help me? I'm Black and I need some help. Nah, ask your friend, ask your neighbor, ask your mom, ask your dad. Ask those who are right around you for some help rather than asking the prototypical white man. But ultimately, although there are some things that are done separately, we can still get along with each other. Yeah, so shout out to my white friends, Black friends, everybody, all Americans. If you're here illegally, I don't know what to tell you. Okay, now this particular person has TDS, self-diagnosed TDS. Okay, let's hear from this individual. The gender, don't get me to lying.
Real reason you say I have Trump derangement syndrome is because you're showing the world that you lack empathy. And when I feel empathy and sadness for the elementary girls bombed or the 600,000 children cut from Medicaid funding or the 1,800 transgender people who had their license immediately stripped from them without any compensation, I feel empathy. If that makes me deranged, I'll fucking take it.
All right, there we go. So a self-diagnosed Trump derangement syndrome person. I'm not sure if it's TDS. I think it's this self-destructive empathy. You are so caring about certain causes that if you were to get what you want, if the cause that you are fighting for were to come to fruition, it'll hurt you more than what's happening right now. If we could just allow everybody from all over the world to come over here, all the illegal aliens to come over here, you're going to have more crime and violence directed at you than you do right now. You don't really get it. It's not about not being empathetic. It's about living in reality. Hey, you know what? We don't have all this money to be paying all these illegal aliens to be here. And we're not trying to incentivize them to come over here. We're not trying to draw them with the government benefits. We don't want to do that. And then you're talking about the girls that got killed over in Iran. Oh, okay. Well, how about the men, women, children, boys, girls who were killed by the Iranian regime over 2 days of protesting, 40,000 minimum. You crying about 150 people? Your priorities are not really in the right place because you're being directed by your phone. You doom scrolling and you see something like, okay, I'm interested in that. I'm interested in that. And I feel sympathy for this, but you can't see anything else. But you know what? It's okay to feel a certain way, but then when your feelings become policy and we're all affected, that's when I got a problem. That's when I got an issue. So yeah, shout out to that particular person. I think that might have been the woman, but I don't want to assume nobody's gender, okay? I don't want to say sir, and then I get it. It's man moment. I don't want that. Anyway. This person says, hey, MAGA, where y'all at? We got some fighting going on. Where y'all at? I want to respond because she did say, hey, MAGA, where you at, MAGA? I guess I qualify as MAGA. I did not get my MAGA card refreshed in the mail. Can I get one from you? Hey, can somebody please send me a brand new, refreshed MAGA subscription in the mail? I need that. Anyway.
I got a proposition for MAGA. So if you're MAGA, come to the front. I know a lot of y'all have lost family, friends, you know, because the girls are cutting y'all off left and right because, as y'all should be cut off, y'all are literally Nazi supporters. But if y'all want to gain the graces, again, what you can do is this. I need you to get to the front of the line and fight for America. Proudly and loudly, just as loud and proud as you were to let us know that you were a Trump supporter. If you go and fight, then we can talk about it. We can talk about resuming cordially again. Maybe.
Okay, now, first of all, I'm a little bit too old to enlist. A little bit too old, but I tell you what, if the fight came to my doorstep, I'm ready. Are you ready? Hey, if the fight came right here to this particular country, I'm gonna go ahead and get to it. I don't got to enlist for that. hey, I don't got to enlist to fight for my country if we got people here acting the fool. Yeah, I'm going to get activated right away. And a lot of Americans are ready, itching for the moment. Don't even worry about that. Don't worry about Americans fighting. Oh, we going to do that. Everybody might not sign up for the military, but you're going to have some guys that's 75 years old that'll smoke you from 1,000 yards. Not you, young lady, but I'm talking about the enemy. If the enemy came to the country and they were threatening us, oh, yeah, we're going to get 100% active. And look, don't worry about getting back in your good graces. I don't want that, no way. I like the whole cookout. Oh, you're uninvited from the cookout. You can't come to the cookout. I didn't plan on going, so don't worry about it. But yeah, shout out to her. Thank you for the call out. I appreciate it. But yeah, if the fight comes to my doorstep, I and many Americans are going to get activated. Activated. Shout out to the Second Amendment and Constitution. Hey, that Second Amendment is there for a reason, not just for self-defense or hunting, but if there's a threat, a foreign threat or a domestic threat, we ready. We're totally ready. So yeah, that's right, JV. Hey, they got my back. If the fight comes to me, I'm ready for the fight. It's whatever. Now, data centers. This is a big thing that's happening all over the country. This man right here lives in PG County, Maryland. That's Prince George's County, Maryland, where people are experiencing very high electricity bills for low usage. And the reason why that's happening is because of all the data centers. The data centers take so much electricity, so much clean drinking water, diesel fuel, all of that. It is impacting local water quality, water availability, water pressure, electricity costs, the quality of air. It's impacting everything. But if you want your Insta Snapgram talk and you want to scroll, that comes with a cost. It's not free. Yeah, TikTok might be free, but it's not free because all that data that you're consuming comes with a particular price tag. Let's watch this. And let's let it rock.
I live alone. There is no reason why my 1 month bill should be $675 when the house is pitch black. When we talk about these data centers, there is no question that the reason why our bills are as high as they are is because you've got these multi-billion-dollar corporations, Meta, Amazon, who come into our communities, who take all of their money and use it, don't pay a dime in taxes, and this is why our bills are the way that they are. We are making all the concessions as consumers in terms of what we can do to lower our bill. Lights, no heat. We're going to bed at night. I go to bed at night with no heat on at all. I turn my heat off at night and get in the bed so that my heat doesn't run all night long. When will the elected officials, our local Prince George's County officials, take our fight to Annapolis and then take our fight to the governor, who will then take our fight to the feds? We know that multi-billion-dollar corporations don't pay a dime, and this is why we are suffering. Our quality of life is in the toilet because the people who have been elected to represent us, you guys are not doing your job. Too many people have died, who have been hung and beaten to have a seat at the table, and now you've got 90% of black people running this government, and you guys are treating us the same way we would be treated if we were still back in Jim Crow and 50s.
Mic drop moment. Very good. Now, let's start what he just said. PG County, Maryland is a black place run by black people. And he's talking about, hey, y'all are mostly black, and look how you're treating your people, like Jim Crow, all of that. I think what's happening is you're going to have Meta, all these companies come in there, building data centers, and they're not negotiating the terms of the data center building properly. Okay, they're not negotiating the terms because the residents are being stuck with the bill. They might not even use a cell phone at all. They might not be into Chat GPT and stuff like this, because a lot of what data center is all this AI stuff, AI is very expensive when you're talking about the resources that it's consumed by. Like, this is why people talk about AI a lot. Oh, AI this, AI that. I think it's a bubble like the dot-com bubble, because AI cannot do all of what people say it can do for the price that people say that the price can be, because the key is what they consume, these resources. This electricity is it's absurd. It's absurd. The clean drinking water, not just any regular water, gray water, seawater, clean drinking water, because it can't be a bunch of salt in the water, because that'll damage the instrumentation they got in there that needs fresh, clean water. The impurities from the water can damage the system they got set up. It got to be clean drinking water. This is going to be a problem for areas all over the country. I saw one lady, she tried to go to her faucet, pour some water, is black or gray, barely coming out, because all the water is being hogged up by the data center right behind her house. So what's she going to do? Not much she can do. But I think one thing you can do is get your local government to come in there and negotiate better, appeal to the federal government or something, because this is unsustainable. $675 for 1 month for minimal electricity usage. You're talking about no lights at night or most of the day, even no lights when it gets dark, no heat at night. You're pretty much a pitch black house, using a little sipping electricity, and it costs that much for your bill for 1 month. That's data center stuff. All right. So yeah, like me right now, I have no AC on, no air conditioning. It's about 80 degrees in here right now, but I'm good. It's warmer downstairs. It's cooler downstairs. It's warmer up here upstairs where I'm at. But I don't need to have my AC on 24/7. I don't need to use these lights 24/7. Okay. So it's not necessarily about being a big consumer. It's about you're subsidizing the data center. Now, this elderly woman was offered $60,000 per acre for her 71-acre farm for a data center. Her daughter also declined $48,000 per acre for her 463-acre farm. Okay, so the first one, $60,000 per acre for 71 acres. The second, $48,000 for a 463-acre farm. Okay. 26 million total rejected.
I don't want your money. I don't need your money. But I do feel sorry for everybody around us that they're going to be affected by it.
Talks about a data center here in Mason County have been ongoing since last spring. This is the home of Ida Huddleston. She has been offered $60,000 an acre for her land to make way for this project.
Same goes for Ida's daughter, Delcia Bear, who turned down a $48,000 an acre offer for her 463-acre property. Particularly frustrating for Bear is the fact that the Fortune 100 company behind the project has not been revealed.
That's a major player in what you're going to do with the rest of your life if you're stuck here or even if you're leaving here.
The data center would be located here at Big Pond Pike. It would create 400 full-time positions along with more than 1,500 construction jobs.
Jobs would go, they would become, if not our largest employer, definitely top 3.
Delcia's response?
And my guess is you won't have over 50 and they won't even be there at this building when it's said and done.
As for the future, like Delcia, Ida sends a clear message about her plans.
I'm staying put. I said I don't.
There we go. So if they offer you that much money for your farm, would you just cash out and leave, or say nope, we're not gonna have a data center anywhere near? The thing about it is, there's other land in the area, other farms in the area, so they could just skip you and put it somewhere else. It's like a Walmart kind of not growing. It's like a Walmart being built in your area. Okay, you might not want that in your county, but they could just set up shop in the county right next to you, and they get all the benefits while you get none of the benefits, and you just get punished, basically. Anyway, let's keep on rocking and rolling here. Okay, now, what do I want to show? I want to show this. Have I shown this before? Nah, I ain't gonna show this. I'm gonna show this about DoorDash. Some of you guys love DoorDash, and if you're a Dasher, shout out to you. But I can never. And I think this is why these little DoorDash dots and doohickeys and whatnot are coming out. The DoorDash dot, the driverless little buggy thing with no passengers, no human beings, just straight food in the thing. And they got the drones bringing you food, because human beings sometimes in their cars be doing some extra stuff. And shout out to the good Dashers out there. You know you are, but you know some of your compatriots be doing all kind of stuff in their vehicle. So let's watch this.
$35 worth of DoorDash going in the trash. All right, y'all, so I wasn't feeling good and I decided I wanted to order DoorDash. It had been a rough day at work, so yeah. I don't really order it much no more because it's so expensive. The tipping part of it has gotten out of control, and I'm just really funny about strangers having my food. Like, I'm crazy. I always wonder, like, are they gonna do something to my food, or is their car clean? I've gotten really good at it and more open-minded, and like over time I have like stopped being as crazy over it. But wait till y'all see this shit, and let's just say I won't be ordering it again, or at least for a very long time. So I got an alert saying my food had been picked up. This is my food right here in the car. This is a bag of dog food. All these little white spots on here on the door, you couldn't see it right here very good, but I walked up to the car. All of that is dog hair. Now I'm sitting at my kitchen window and I get an alert saying that Pocahontas is arriving with your order. Y'all can see down here, I am not making this shit up.
Now, Pocahontas, who do you think Pocahontas actually is? Like, what race and gender do you think Pocahontas actually is? When he said that name, I already knew what it was. When he said that name, I already knew. But what do y'all think? All right, let's continue.
Can clearly see the Dasher's name. All right. So now Pocahontas shows up in this little red tiny car, little two-door red car. With a name like that, I'm thinking in 2026, this is about to be some, you know, Native American, indigenous woman. I mean, because who in 2026 is naming themselves that or calling themselves that? You know what I'm saying? It's just like, what? Anyways, Pocahontas steps out. Pocahontas is a 6'2", 6'3" black dude, and he's reaching in to get my food, and I'm sitting there looking, and I'm like, hold up, no fucking way. Let me show y'all why the food got thrown away.
You see the dog in there just chilling. The dog just like, yo, what we doing? What's happening? What's going on, P? You taking too long, bro. Come on, drop that food off and come back to the car. I got to go get a walk. Come on, what we doing? Chop, chop.
So as you just seen in that video, he gets out of the car. He has my food bag. As he's pulling the bag out, the dog is literally sticking his nose in my food bag and biting at the bag. And he's like trying to get the bag away from the dog. He walks up to my house. I take that video because I'm like, there's no way. I'm already sketched out about ordering DoorDash because I'm scared, like worried about this type of shit happening. So I go outside and I meet him. I'm already pissed. I already know I'm not eating the food. And then he's like, oh, here you go, blah, blah, blah. Well, I'm like, I have a mango drink. I paid $6 for this drink. I know I'm not drinking it. So anyways, he's like, oh, yeah, come out of the car. So I followed him out there because I'm just ready to get this shit done over and go so I can throw this shit away, report it, whatever, because I want my money back. So I walk out to the car. I get my mango drink. Look at this shit when I get inside. As you can see right here, this was in the cup.
Oh, now, we got dog hair in the mango drink. That's crazy. No way.
The restaurant, for some reason, didn't put a seal over the top of the cup, and I did say something to them about it too. But that's dog hair sitting on top of the liquid in the cup because, again, they didn't put something over the top. That's kind of the restaurant's fault too, but when I seen that, no. So needless to say, my worst fear came true, and my ass will not be ordering DoorDash again. Can't do it. If you like dogs, that's cool. I got a dog. My dog, I would never do something like that. Everybody has their own opinion, but if you're going to deliver people's food and do stuff like that, have some common courtesy and understand that not everybody wants dog hair all on their stuff. Not everybody wants that kind of... Nobody, not every...
Yeah, I mean, that's just what it is, you know. not everyone wants dog hair all over their food. I don't know about y'all, but that's not really my cup of tea. Shout out to I love dogs. I'm a dog guy. Okay, I'm that kind of guy. If I see a random dog in public, I'm gonna go pet it. And it might be a coyote or a wolf. I'm gonna still go try to pet. Like, can I pet that dog? That's me. I'm that guy that said that. To pet that dog, that was me when I was 5 years old. So shout out to the dogs. However, if I'm having food brought to which I never do. I never order any food to my house ever. I'm the kind of guy, I will order a pizza and go pick it up myself. I'm that guy. But anyway, if I'm having food brought to my house, I don't want you to have some kind of animal in there just chilling. Some of y'all got pet ferrets. Y'all got little gerbils that run free roam. I saw somebody with a pet rabbit. They had it in their house and they just let it doodle on the ground. I promise I've seen this with my own 2 eyes. The rabbit was just walking around. Little pebbles would just come out. And it's like, yeah, ain't no problem. It's like, ugh. Okay, how about I don't drink anything in here? How about I get up? Hey, you know what? Hey, man, I got to get up out of here. You know, my pet cat need to get changed. Let me go ahead and just get... You never know how someone lives. So moral of that story is get your own food or cook at home. Because some of these delivery drivers... And look, if you're a good DoorDasher, you a good driver, shout out to you. But y'all know some of y'all compatriots be doing the most. Anyway, if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. One more clip. This is a classic clip. One more classic clip about hating the rich. You know how they do. Let's eat the rich, tax the rich, all this and that. A lot of envy, jealousy, hatred towards the rich. But this is how these kind of people are in real life. The quote unquote, I hate the rich crowd. Check it out. Old clip again, by the way.
I hate rich people. I mean, half the world's starving to death, and he lives like that. I mean, I ask you. You see, I believe in a fairer distribution of wealth. I always have done. Well, I'm a socialist, you see. And I think, you know, we should all do everything we can to help, because that is the creed.
There you go. Don't see that's pretty much how it is. That's it in a nutshell. Okay. I hate the rich. They got to pay their fair share. I'm a socialist. You come on, old man. Please, sir, can I have some more? I'm hungry eating it. You come up to you like that, and you don't want nothing to do with them. That's pretty much how they operate. It'd be a guy on the ground homeless. Can I have something, sir? Can I have a little spare change, sir? You walk right past like he ain't even exist. So there you go. Shout out to the clip right there. That summed it up perfectly. All right, let's keep it rocking and rolling. Let's get to some calls here. The number to call is 706-406-3287. Again, 706-406-3287 is the number to call. You got super chats on deck. First, let me read these right quick. Thank you to Apple Bucker, All Puff Daddy, who says, ABL loves your video short about the queer lady who has 2 Transformer roommates. Her mother helped her move in, but was wearing Charlie Kirk merch. Hey, you know what? I will help you guys move. I will help you guys with whatever you need help with. However, I will wear my Charlie Kirk shirt. And if you can't handle that, then you're the problem. It's not me. Don't get mad at me. You're the problem. So shout out to the mom for that. That was a great one. Thank you to Taylor Langley Fitness, who says, problem is you have 300 million plus aliens and these third world countries don't follow traffic laws like we do. Exactly. Right on. Thank you to Taylor Langley Fitness again, who says Trump has highest enlistment in 15 years, Biden lowest in 40, testosterone plus Chad, Secretary of Defense, benching 50 pounds, beats man in dress for recruiting. Exactly. Boom. There you go. There you go. So shout out to our president. Shout out to Pete Hegseth. I like Pete. I think Pete's doing very well in his role. He's doing well. And Pete's young. How old is Pete? Pete can't be no more than 50. How old is Pete Hegseth? 45. He'll be 46 in June. So pretty young guy. Relatively young compared to a lot of people. The former Secretary of Defense, who was that? Lloyd Austin, who had prostate cancer and went AWOL to treat it? That was crazy. But anyway, and Lloyd Austin is what, 72 years old now? So yeah, shout out to Pete Hegseth. I like what they're doing, and hopefully this Iran situation will be over very soon. All right, let's get to some calls here. Again, the number to call is 706-406-3287. The number is always in the description. Also, in the ticker below me on the screen, it'll pop up eventually. Was that who that was on the screen? That sketch right there, the old show, Benny Hill? Was that who that was? Shout out to Benny Hill. All righty. Zealand Zen says Benny was funny and said to be kind to the women he worked with. Well, there we go. It's like he was a good guy as well. Funny and a good guy. All right. Let's keep on going. Let's go to 501. Your line, who am I speaking to?
Yeah, this is Robert.
All righty, what's happening?
Not too much. So I watched one of your other videos where you were talking about Little Rock, gangbanging in Little Rock.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm originally from Little Rock. I was born, but I was living there during that time when all that stuff got made. So I mean, a lot of the stories that it's funny that a lot of people didn't know that Little Rock was that deep with all of the gangbanging stuff because my father, he worked for...
I have a hard time hearing you. Are you on speakerphone?
No. So one of the places my dad worked for was actually in that movie where it helped troubled youth out that actually, it's either they go through the program or they go to jail. So sometimes we would actually, when I was with my dad, we would go up to the place, and just hang out or whatever. But when we had to take him home, like one of the places that was like extremely bad, like it was so bad, we would get, because he would drive a van, to go drop him off. It's so bad that we would literally get down like low in the seats. Yeah, because the name of that place was Highland Park or Highland Court, and there was like always shootings and stuff going on there. So yeah, I mean, Little Rock was a very bad place back during the 90s because of all the crime and whatnot.
Yeah, man. Like people don't know because that's not really a thing that's talked about too much in the history books, I suppose, about different parts of the country as far as the crime is concerned. So people just have no idea. These documentaries that come out, a lot of times they're very eye-opening.
Yeah. I want to say I was actually in that video. I would have to go back and watch it and see where it was at, because they came to that place when they interviewed the director of it. But I don't know. I think it's crazy, like how the media is twisting all this stuff around. Did you see what happened with, or a lot of people, I guess they're mad with Abby Phillips because she kind of, she was downplaying, people throwing the bombs, or the IEDs in New York City, and her biggest focus was, oh well, what about these people talking, and not the people that's throwing bombs?
Yeah, I mean that was kind of crazy, but that's not to be unexpected because they don't want to seem to be Islamophobic or whatever. But it's like, come on, like we saw what happened. Like there was an Allahu Akbar, the guy threw the actual bomb. You could say that's what happened. You could say that it was radical Islam. It won't be incorrect to say that, but people are afraid to say the truth because it could be offensive to some people.
Yeah, I think it's kind of crazy that all these liberals they mad because Pete Hegseth he spent money that was already allocated for the military. I mean, they don't understand, like, if money is allocated for a fiscal year, you have to burn through it, or that if you don't spend it all, that means that the next fiscal budget for the next year is going to be lower because that indicates that you didn't have enough money. But everybody that was talking about it, they were like, oh well, he's spending $2 million on crab legs and steaks. It's like he didn't eat $2 million of crab legs and steaks. He bought all that stuff for the military. It's not like the SNAP program where you got a bunch of lazy people who don't have no job, who are just sitting on their butts and just eating, ordering crab balls and all this other stuff, and they're wasting taxpayer dollars on stuff that they shouldn't be getting, while, these people are so upset about people who fight for the country. They have it, because, again, like I said, I was in the military. And, like, if you're on a ship, typically the food is, it's not bad, but it's not great. So that once in a while that we did have, a steak and lobster dinner, you know what that indicated to us?
What's that?
That our deployment was going to be extended longer.
Yeah, that makes sense, because they're trying to do something nice for you.
Yeah, they do that because they want to be nice. But like, if you're getting that, a lot of people in the military, some of those people, they'll tell you, hey, we get that meal, that means that our deployment just got extended. So, yeah, I think it's just crazy that these people are mad about, the spending, but they're not mad about the wasteful, spending of, these Democrats in these cities. And then you just talked about the whole California, how the hospice fraud is coming out. And I don't know, I think it's just crazy. Oh, one thing before I go. So the video that you played of Al Sharpton Jr., or not Al Sharpton Jr., but Reverend Jesse Jackson Jr.'s son. So, like, if you watch the extended video where it shows everybody, so to the left of Reverend
Al Sharpton.
Al Sharpton was to the left of Jesse Jackson's son. And as soon as he said all the stuff about the three presidents was talking, like, he was standing up, but as soon as he said that, you could see his face go like, oh crap, what is he talking about? So he sat down, because you could see the lady that's behind him, but to the left of him, he was kind of distraught because he made that comment.
Of course, because it's kind of like what he might go on his show and support what they were saying. So that was kind of a shot at him too.
Yeah. All right, man. Well, that's all I got.
Well, thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
Yeah.
All right. Shout out to the caller. Let's go to 949 on line. Speaker 2.
Oh, I think we got a horrible connection. Are you there?
I'm here. Can you hear me?
Oh yeah, it sounds bad, but oh no, ABL, it's Marta over here in Menifee. I always joke around and say California. So, how are you doing? Oh my God. So what weather do you have? Like, what's going on outside of your house right now?
Right now it's not too bad. I'm kind of like the calm before the storm. It was raining a little bit earlier, but right now it's not too bad. It's like a small rain.
Oh wow, yeah. The soundbite back from you sounds like all garbled and everything, but no, nonetheless, I just wanted to call in and how they were talking about a lot of changes that were being made to Medi-Cal and Medicare, and I talked to my counselor today, and she told me that a lot of people through Blue Cross and IHP and different insurances here in California, people are actually losing their coverage. So I'm like, it's happening. And I said, oh, are those people, illegal, or, what resources are they, she goes, oh, they're just simply not qualifying anymore. So I'm like, oh, that's kind of scary, So anyways, what is your take on California? A lot of people losing their benefits.
I mean, not surprising. It's California, it's just part of it.
Oh wow, yeah, through the phone. Well, I'm going to let you go because when I hear you talking, it sounds really jarbled. But have a good night, and hopefully the next time I call, it'll be better. All right, goodbye. God bless.
Thank you for the call. Appreciate it. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with that. Maybe there's just the connection between her and I from my number. I don't know. I'm speaking to 917. Can you hear me well?
Yes, I can hear you perfectly, ABL.
All righty, what's going on?
Hey, this is Corinne from NYC.
All righty.
I had to call in because of that video with the DoorDash, the guy who got the DoorDash meal.
Yeah.
That was hilarious. I was actually on the train coming back from Barclays Center, and I was dying, like sitting there laughing to myself. Yeah, that's funny. But it's as soon as in the video he says, the guy says his name is Pocahontas, I already knew that was not going to be a woman. That's not a woman. No.
Exactly, because who would actually, what kind of woman would say my name was Pocahontas? That's not really a thing. I knew it was going to be a male, and I figured it might be a black male too, trying to be funny.
I wasn't sure. It makes it even funnier that it's a big black dude, but I just knew it was going to be a man. I personally, when I've done DoorDash, I've had very few women deliver the DoorDash, but with the name, I just don't see women calling themselves I just don't see that, but I do see a dude in this day and age calling himself Pocahontas.
Of course.
So that was funny. Yeah, but the whole video was really hilarious. I think I might share that video with somebody. Also, you were talking about something else I was going to mention that you were talking about, but I just can't get my mind off that video. I'm losing it now. It was just something else that was funny. It won't come back to me. Okay, well, other than that, I just wanted to say Mandami is doing a horrible job. Not good. So hopefully we get past this sometime soon. Other than that, I guess I'll keep watching the show. Thank you, ABL. Just wanted to call in about that hilarious video.
Thank you for the call. I definitely appreciate you.
Okay, have a good night.
Yeah, that was crazy, Pocahontas. I already knew it was going to be some basketball playing black dude, Pocahontas. I'm speaking to you online, 857.
Hey, what's going on, man? So, a question. Do you think I have Trump demanding syndrome? Do you think I'm like that with Trump?
Oh, no, that's a good question. I'm not really sure.
I am not sure. Okay. So do you listen to the conference that Trump gave today about the Iran war?
I'm not sure. I may have heard some of it. I did not hear the entire conference.
So do you know who gave him the advice so that Iran was supposed to attack us? You know who gave him the advice?
Nah, go ahead, tell us.
Okay. So this is the thing that you should have posted,
Okay, just get to the point. Don't got all night.
Okay, she's chief of staff. That the chief of staff doesn't go to the national security meetings, and his son-in-law, that's the one that gave him the advice, and Marco Rubio, that's all the ones who told him that they were going to attack him. Now, the Secretary of State probably could be involved in some of those meetings, but he didn't tell us that came from any of the sources from the intelligence community. So you have a president that take action in base of someone that is not even around his circle to make a serious decision like going to war that is costing us almost $1 billion a day. So
okay, so you said that somebody not in the circle. Marco Rubio's not in the circle?
Well, Marco Rubio's in the circle as Secretary of State, but I don't know how much intelligence Marco Rubio gets from the CIA.
Okay, so don't know. Okay, so if you don't know, then what are we talking about?
So, but it did not say that came from the. Listen, I'm expecting my president to be sitting down with the intelligence community, with the military, make those decisions, getting the information, not get it from Marco Rubio. I mean, the Marco Rubio met with the intelligence. That means David Kushner met with the intelligence.
So how do you know that?
Can you explain me what's going on with this guy? Can you just
excuse me?
You voted for him.
Excuse me. How do you know that Trump did not speak to intelligence?
Because he didn't say that information came from the intelligence.
Okay, so you don't know that he spoke to him or not. You don't know if Marco. Excuse me. You don't know if Trump spoke to intelligence or not. You don't know if Marco spoke to him or not. You just don't have the information. That's all. Just say that.
Okay, ABL. Let's. I'm older than you, and I'm not like a little. I've been watching politics. I told you for a very long time. When the president of the United States made a decision, either Clinton, Bush, Obama, the information come from the CIA. The CIA tells them how bad is the threat, how can we proceed. They bring them reports so the president reads them, and they meet with the staff, and they say, okay, this is the decision we're going to make. We're going to make this decision A, B, or C. They have the menu what it's going to make. So the president is not meeting with his intelligence, but that's what they're asking. The information came with his intelligence. He say, I don't know. People been telling me they were going to attack. And then when they ask him, who are those people? He mentioned those names. So that means he's not meeting with his intelligence.
That's your assumption. That's what you think. That's what you feel, but you don't know. It's okay to have an opinion, but you don't know it to be the fact.
It's not my opinion, but don't you think when I say, yeah, we have reports, and these reports indicate.
I don't know. I don't know how he's going to react. I don't know how he's going to respond. But my point is, excuse me. My point is that you don't have Trump saying that I did not meet with intelligence or I did. You don't have that statement to draw from. So you're just making conclusions based upon other things he said. That's called an assumption.
It's not called an assumption. If a reporter asks you, do you meet with the intelligence community? Where you getting that information? And he said, a lot of people have been telling me. He said, who are those people? And he mentioned those three names, and he mentioned no one for the intelligence community. He didn't mention any reports. You remember when Bush went to war in Iraq? Do you remember? You were around?
Yes.
You were involved in politics?
Yes.
What Bush said?
I don't remember.
Oh, so you weren't around.
I was around, but I don't remember.
Video game. Dude, you were playing
around. I was around. I don't remember. We had a party. Excuse me. We had a party when Obama got elected in my office. I remember it very well.
Okay, so when Bush told Congress this information came for the intelligence community, and they said they have monster gas. They said that we're building a nuclear weapon. They were saying that we're building biological weapons from the intelligence community. The reports were given them to the the intelligence community in Congress, and they voted for the war. That's why they made the decision to go into a war. Same thing when Obama went to war with Libya. What they told him, oh yeah, he has some of these weapons. He's dangerous. We need to remove him from power to Gaddafi. We removed him, we failed. The country became a mess.
Right. Well, ultimately, you're making an assumption because you don't have the information you think you should have. You don't have. Okay, excuse me. You're kind of just repeating yourself because we already determined that's your assumption because of things that he said. You're just drawing a conclusion. Well, if he said this, then he didn't say this, then it must mean this. That's called an assumption. So if you want to repeat that point, you can go ahead and get off the phone. If you want to move on to the next topic, you can. Go ahead.
Okay, so you must be really, 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 really unknowledgeable about politics. That his son-in-law.
Look, at the end of the day, we've already beat that dead horse. The horse is dead, and they're reviving it. So move on to your next point.
Okay, my next point is that, dude, so how do you get this information when you present it to your audience? Do you really get the real information, or you just post videos that you know they're gonna go viral? Like these fools, these supposed liberals that some of them they're idiots. And that's what you rely on. I mean, someone does the same thing. Team Brandon Taylor does the same thing. I mean, there's like probably 400 of you guys up there that do the same thing. Is that the new mechanism of marketing to make money online using the platform for the politics and the division of the country? That's what it is.
I give my opinion based on the facts that I see. Most of my videos are spent looking at news videos from reputable sources and reading articles and playing videos that are being put out by people. And I give my opinion on certain things. And if it's about facts, if it's about facts, I say, hey, here's a news article. Here's a news video. And matter of fact, don't even believe what I say. After I show you the sources I have, do your own research. That's what I always say, and you know that.
Okay, so what do you know where we stand with the war in Iran? Because this is the most important issue. Where do we think we stand right now, according to what the sources are saying?
I don't know.
Where we at? So are we really this war is going to be done in 2 weeks? Like Trump said, you think?
I don't know.
No, but in base of what you're hearing from Trump, I'm sure you get a lot of information from the president that he's been saying, because you say you trust him, that I speculated because wasn't in the meetings, 2 guys that doesn't have clearance to be getting information from the intelligence community, getting the information. So something's wrong there. But anyway, where do you think where we at right now?
I don't know. That's a good question.
That's a good question. So we're far away from winning this war.
Okay, that's your opinion. That's fine. That's your opinion. That's fine. You can say what you say is an opinion.
So
you can say what you say is an opinion, and then when you ask me, I can just say I don't know because I don't have that information. If I was to give my opinion on that, I could give my opinion on it, but I don't know. So I'll be responsible and say that I don't know while you give your opinion. Close it up. Got some more calls. Close it up. Got some more calls. Go ahead.
Okay, so why they asking for why Netanyahu from Israel and his administration and the Trump administration are asking for a ceasefire? Why do you think they're asking for a ceasefire?
I don't know. I've not seen that story.
Oh, okay. So now you got the picture. All right. Have a good night, man.
All right. Shout out to him. Okay, let's keep on rocking and rolling. Let's go to 203. You don't know who I'm speaking to.
Yo, ABL. What's going on, brother?
Not so much, man. What's happening?
Not much. This is Misfit Steve from Connecticut. I just wanted to, let Ivan know just a little, basic info on what Marco Rubio's job is. He is the U.S. Secretary of State and is the president's principal advisor on foreign policy, leading the Department of State to manage international relations. Okay, Ivan? And he negotiates treaties and protects U.S. interests abroad. So, Ivan, do yourself a favor and learn politics. Basic politics, okay? Because, dude, you don't even know what their job description is. Have a nice night, ABL.
Thanks for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
Peace.
Hey, straight to the point. A little tactical nuke right there. Pew, psh. Very good call. 859 on line seeker 2.
Have a nice.
All right. So let's bring Libertarian friend. How's it going, ABL? I'm just got done from dashing, and oh my God, I swear to God, I seen Pocahontas driving when I was hearing about that. It's like, wait a minute, hold up. God next to me. Oh my God, I've heard horror stories from DoorDashers, and I promise I'm very responsible. I make sure I have everything in the bag, and I make sure everything's nice, clean, and professional with my job, especially.
Well, I'm glad you do, because some of your compatriots out there on the road, they're not doing a very good job.
It is what it is. And I want to be honest with you. I've heard about the stuff that happened in California, over in Cali, over Commie Cali, the place that you can't own firearms, where they just have a whole bunch of loops to defend yourself, which is crazy. And it's that whole issue with Jake Long and those two teenagers. My brother, it's clear indication of espionage, because why is there in a mansion of all things and they look like a bunch of homeless bums, especially in California, my brother? It has to be some implications of espionage.
Well, that's kind of what it sounded like, right?
It absolutely. And you know what? Hey, look, brother, I went on here. I disagree with the war, and you know I disagree with the war as well. But you know what? If they're going to come over here and try to start some start some stuff with us, don't. Hey, I got a baseball bat full of nails. Promise me. I mean, I will protect myself, brother. I like to see them try to do anything here, because last time I checked, back in W2, the Japanese refused to invade America because they said every blade of grass has a rifle behind it.
There you go. Exactly. They know it.
Oh, definitely. And you know what? And I'm going to throw some shade at Jake Long, bro. Come on, Texan teenagers, bro. Come on, man. And he's cosplaying as an IDF member. That's silly, especially coming from me, which I don't talk too much about my military career, obviously. But thank you very much for taking my phone call, ABL. Much love to you. And check out my channel. I'm going to be reading the Epstein files. And yeah, I throw shade on everybody. You know I throw shade on everybody. But much love to you. Thank you very much for taking my phone call, ABL.
Thanks for the call, man. Definitely appreciate it.
No problem. I'm out. Want to smoke some 420.
Shout out to the call. I appreciate y'all for rocking and rolling. Let's keep on going. Unknown caller online. Who am I speaking to?
ABL. Hey, man. What's going on tonight?
Not too much, man. What's happening?
Oh, a lot's happening. I started a new job on Monday, February 23rd, and I'm really kind of cautious about this country. They have DEI, and it's kind of a very, I think, very leftist company, obviously. And so I have 2 Trump bumper stickers on my car.
Hopefully it works out well for you, man, and congrats on that.
Yeah, thank you very much. I mean, no one's effed with me so far about it, but yeah, those Trump bumper stickers are going to remain. I have a Trump Make America Great Again bumper sticker, and underneath the Trump bumper sticker, I have a Ultra Mega bumper sticker. So Trump bumper sticker gets the leftist pissed, and the Ultra Mega bumper sticker gets the leftist ultra pissed. So that's the point behind it.
Of course.
Half the reason why I put it on there. The other half the reason is because, I love America. I'm patriotic, man. But yeah, no one's messed with me so far. But I'm sure they all knew by the first or second day that I have my bumper stickers on there. So it's just kind of creepy, though, that they have this DEI thing. But everybody's there. Kids are nice to me so far. But there's this one chick there. I think she's about 33 or 35, but she looks much older, and she looks very much like a leftist, and she actually is. She has a hat on, a knit hat that says something witch on it or whatever. And whenever she sneezes, I say, bless you. And she's like, ugh. She gets creeped out by it, which tells me right away that she's an atheist. And she's planning on going to Korea. But we, of course, know it's not going to be North Korea. It's always South Korea.
Right, of course.
Yeah, so it's like if you're a leftist, why don't you want to go to a place that, supports your leftist views, like North Korea, or China, or someplace like that, but they never will.
They refuse to admit that what they want does not work in real life. They refuse to admit it.
Yeah, well, they don't want to go to a place that supports their ideology. Right. They want that to happen. They think they want that to happen in America, but they really don't. She's going over there to South Korea next year, and I think if I remember correctly today in our conversation, she said she's going over there for a couple of years or more. I don't know. I think she's going to live there, and I guarantee it's because she hates Trump. She thinks that's going to be her little safe haven.
Right, of course.
So, yeah, man, it's just crazy how these people want to go over there to try to escape Trump. But it's just they'll never go to the place that supports their ideology. I had one coworker who was like, she's like, she wants to go to Italy. That's what she said way back in August of 2023. She's still here, and she's too stupid to realize that Georgia Maloney won the election in, I think it was September 2022, and she's a conservative Trump supporter. She's the Italian version of MAGA, basically.
Right.
And she never ended up going over there. But these two are just such hypocrites. So yeah, man, let's see what happens. But I just thought I'd point that out tonight. So anyway, all right, man, great show. Keep up the great work and the videos. And I'm still Ultra MAGA, America First, Trump 2028.
Oh, man, thank you for your call. Definitely appreciate you.
Thank you. You take care. I'll see you. Bye.
All right, great call. Shout out to the call. Let's go to 210. You're on line speaker to 210.
Hey, ABL, this is Lyle. Man, you get some trolls on the phone too, don't you?
I sure do.
I got a couple things I want your opinion about. With Iran, the only thing that bothers me, back in my youth, I enlisted because I saw those Marines being drugged through the streets of Iran after that failed attempt to free the hostages. We should have done this back then, is my opinion. But anyway, the only thing that bothers me is for these people to get their freedom, they have to earn it. And they can't just sit back and watch us earn it for them, don't you think?
I agree.
So shouldn't we be dropping some Glocks and ammo down to help them and let them do their own street by street fighting if they want freedom? Or let them fight it out like we did against the British. But I know they're not allowed to have weapons, so I think we should be supplying them with some. What's your opinion?
I don't know. You know, that could be. I'm not sure the legality of that. That's the only thing I would have an issue with.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard for any group of people to. I mean, it can never happen in the United States because there's probably 4 handguns for every city block. At least here in Texas, there is anyway.
Right.
So, there's no chance. The other point I wanted to make is, I know this would make people's head explode, but we could just raise the stars and stripes and say, hey, you're just like Puerto Rico to us. You're a territory. Line up and get your Social Security number.
I mean, that's been floated. That's a thing that could happen. But then that's a matter of, okay, well, our sovereignty is gone. I mean, but hey, what do you do?
Well, I mean, it took us we went through a lot of trouble with this young country to get it to the point even where it is to have a constitution and all that. I would say that would be probably the quickest and cleanest way, or we should do what we did in Japan. Just put one person in charge, have them write the Constitution, and then Japan's like our best friend now. And they were fanatical enemies back then. So I just wanted your opinion on that.
Right. I mean, I see where you're coming from. It definitely makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, if we give back every country, in 5 or 10 years, some other lunatic takes over, we ought to say enough's enough. And if we had Iran, the whole rest of the world would beg us for oil.
Right. Absolutely.
All right. You have a great evening, sir.
Thank you for the call. Appreciate you. All right. Shout out to the caller. Great caller. I mean, that's the thing. People talked about that, Cuba too. Cuba next. Hey, when do you think Cuba going to happen? And Cuba, that's not even going to be a shot fired. That's going to be what Trump say, a friendly takeover. So that's most certainly coming up next, in my humble opinion. But shout out to you guys for being here. I appreciate y'all for rocking and rolling. If you like what you heard tonight, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. And I think that will be a wrap for me tonight. That'll be a wrap for me tonight. Shout out to you guys. If you couldn't get on tonight, don't blame. If you couldn't get on tonight, don't blame me, Blended White Man, because it ain't my fault. But I'll be back live streaming on Saturday. Same bat time, same bat place. 8 p.m. Eastern time to right around right now, 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And I'm live on the Instagram. Shout out to the Instagram live watchers. I'm live there every Tuesday at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you guys missed that stream, if my YouTube following has missed that stream, I'll put it on YouTube at 8 p.m. Friday night. All right, 8 p.m. Friday night for the Instagram stream on YouTube. But this right here will be up and done as soon as I'm finished. And the audio only version of this podcast will be available at 8 a.m. tomorrow morning, Thursday, on your favorite audio streaming platform, whether they be Google Play, Spotify, Apple, iTunes, etc. Link for that will be in the description box, or visit your favorite audio streaming platform and search ABL Live. I should pop right on up. All right. Did I get everybody? I got all my super chat. So that'll be a wrap for me. Shout out to you guys. I appreciate y'all for joining. But hold on. I'm rushing because I'm super hungry. But anyway, shout out to you guys for watching, retweeting, super chatting, whatever you do. I could not do the show without you. Thank you to the mods for keeping the trolls in check. I appreciate y'all for that as well. But that will be a wrap for me. Let me read some of these comments before I leave so I don't miss nothing. I believe I got everything right there. Okay, I got everything. Shout out to you guys. I'll be back live again on Saturday. And also, we're putting out pre-recorded content every day, Sunday through Sunday, pre-recorded content, long form, short form, whatever you want. Y'all know I'm on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok. Shout out to the TikTok following. I see y'all. I do see y'all on TikTok. And shout out to the Facebook following. You guys are big. You guys are growing. But I got like 210,000 on Facebook. We trying to get 2 million over there. Hey, YouTube said no more subs to ABL. We're not gonna get you beyond the 1.1. That's fine. Hey, YouTube, my next goal is to get 1 million over on the Insta books, Instagram and Facebook. 200,000 on them both. Let me get to 1 million by the end of the year. That's the goal. Anyway, shout out to you guys. I appreciate y'all. I got more podcasts coming up as well. I got one coming up in Vegas. Oops, did I say Vegas? I should be in Vegas pretty soon for some stuff. At least one podcast, probably some more podcasts when I'm out there. I know a lot of guys that got shows out there. I know at least 3 guys that got podcasts out there. So my objective is when I get out there for this one big one, I'm going to sweep everybody. I might be out there for like a week. So if you're in Vegas, I might run into you on the strip. And I'm super obvious out there because, you know what I mean? It's like you're in the Wild Wild West. You see me, it's like, what are you doing off the basketball courts? Anyway, that's a wrap for me. I will see you guys next time. Until next time, y'all be safe. I'm out. And peace.